Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Something Up My Sleeve. And as soon as I figure out how to remove my cover photo, we're going to get this thing kicked off. Oh, it's the banner. There we go. Yes, unbelievable. Hi, welcome to Something Up My Sleeve. I am your host, Michael Dardon, a.k.a. Magic Mike. Hashtag not that Magic Mike. Hashtag not Magic Mike Toronto. It is so good to be back. And let me tell you, while I'm editing the video of your guest for tonight, I realized how grateful I am to be in this position that I get to interview some of the best magicians in the world. I'm so thankful for this. I'm so grateful. And I don't know that I've really said that enough. It is really an honor to be here and to be able to do this. And I hope that you really enjoyed tonight's segment. We've got an awesome show. We've got FISM Mentalist FISM Mentalist Winners, which you don't get to say very much because we'll talk more about the point system of FISM. Mentalism World Champions are here on the show tonight, and I'm gonna let it's pre-recorded, so I'm gonna let past Michael talk more about them. But Anca and Lucca, they were amazing. They're amazing. Please pay attention because I'm gonna break this into two parts. Actually, you're only getting the first hour. I only asked my guests for like 20 minutes, and they were just incredible and had so much to share that I have 2 hours of footage. So as I'm going through, I'm like, what do I do with this? So I'm gonna talk to Billy, your president. I'm gonna talk to Ryan, who has a show next week on this channel, and see if we can sneak in a part 2, so you can get more of the pearls of wisdom that they have to share about not only performing in magic but winning the world championships of magic. So we have that going on, and then also afterward, it's kind of Halloween time, and I thought we should bring on a guest that could share with us and tell us about what kind of craziness is going on for Halloween. So we have none other than Lindsay Noel tonight to talk to you about what she's got going on for Halloween. Talk to us about her experience on Penn and Teller's Fool Us, and talk to us about creativity and scary magic. So that should be interesting, and that's going to be in our after hours program. What else going on in magic, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else? What is going on? Well, on the cover of the Linking Ring on the International Brotherhood of Magicians, we have a very colorful photo that will be a part of my Magician's Pose contest. I can't resist, so I will take a screenshot of this. I've been slacking on the pose contest because we've had so much content, but believe me, this will be there. We will see if this wins the Magician's Pose contest. So stick around for next week's episode. I'm sorry, no, next month's episode. Yeah, this is just once a month right now, but we'll see how it goes. Stick around for that. We're gonna have a pose contest. And we've had some not only live presentations, but online presentations. We have the Australian Magic Trivia going on. Make sure you're paying attention to the IBM Facebook page so you know not to miss the Trivia Magic contest going on in Australia. Also, Sean Farquhar, Rick Merrill, David Corsair, and Chad Long were just involved with a not online but live presentation of the jam session that IBM is providing. So we're hitting you from every angle. Make sure you're paying attention to that because you don't want to miss it. That is an amazing lineup. So we've got after hours going on. Once we end the Facebook presentation, we had that going on Twitch and featuring special guests Lindsay Noel and whoever else might show up to wish us happy Halloween. But I want to kick this off. No further ado. Let's get this going. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special episode, FISM Winners from Quebec 2022. I'm gonna let past Michael introduce you to Anca and Lucca.
TV. Today, we are showing that
not only have they been guests on Fool Us, on Romania's Got Talent, they have several awards in the art of mentalism, but the biggest one is just recently when they became world champions of magic at FISM in Quebec. I was there to witness it all, and it is not often that in the mentalism category, they are given that type of achievement because it's all based on a point system. So they have accomplished something huge, and I'm very honored to have them today. I'm bringing them into the stream now. Hello and welcome.
Hello.
All right. Oh my gosh. All right. You guys look just as adorable as when Jeff McBride had you on the Monday night mystery school. And it's really strange because normally when you see people off stage, you're like, oh, you know, like they looked amazing on stage. You guys literally look better off stage. Like you look amazing on stage, but you're both so beautiful. And normally when I meet someone beautiful and then realize they're extremely talented, it makes me a little sick inside. You know, it makes me a little bit sick. So I want to say thank you so much. I know you're probably getting calls from all over the world of people that want to talk to you, especially after your recent achievement. And I am honored that you agreed to be part of my little talk show here that, you know, hopefully will be big one day. But first off, welcome. And what time is it for you there?
10 p.m.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And I apologize about the confusion there, the whole time zone thing. Well, first of all,
No
you should know that most Americans think that Romania is a fictional place that where werewolves come from. So learning that it's real is magical.
I do come from Transylvania, the heart of Romania, and it's a real place, but of course, full of legends.
Do you really? Are you messing with me, or you really come from there? Oh,
Yes,
wow!
I'm coming from Transylvania.
And okay, so have you ever seen a werewolf?
No.
No. Wow. Okay, because you know we don't have them here. We don't have them in America.
And we don't have them in Romania either. It's actually an imported myth. Bram Stoker project Romanian culture.
She's sleeping too deeply when I'm transforming.
So that's not where your powers come from. So you didn't get your powers because you were bitten by anything.
No, just by the bug of love.
Oh, wow. Excellent. So before I go into a little bit of your history and we talk about some of your recent accomplishments, the question I like to start with, based on the name of my show, is what is something up your sleeve? And metaphorically speaking, like what makes you and what do you bring to the table that we know we're only getting from Anca and Lucca? Like what is up your sleeve?
First of all, I would also like to say that we are also very honored to be part of your talk show, and thank you for the invitation. We are more than welcoming to the invitations to speak to the American public. We've been looking forward to this for a long time, and we are very happy that it is finally happening. And that's why the opportunity to talk about what's up our sleeve is an amazing opportunity for us. So what would you say?
I let you start because I know we have many things up, so I let you start with the first one.
Right now, the most exciting project for us is to bring our act, our World Championship act, on different stages around Europe, because as you may very well know, there are different cultures, different languages coming together in Europe, and we are capable, because of our method and our presentation, to perform in different languages, whereas the basis of our act was always English. Also at home, actually, we speak English with each other, and we live in Vienna, Austria, and of course we perform in German. And then, because I'm from Romania, we also performed our act in Romania. We added to our repertoire, so to say, French and Italian.
Ah, très bien. Bon, on fait tu le show en français si vous...
Voulez-vous confirmer que ces lunettes sont complètement opaques?
Ah, ben c'est très bien. Je savais pas que vous parlez français. You actually speak 5 languages, and then you're working on Spanish as well?
Yes, but I wouldn't say that we speak 5 languages. I am only claiming that we can perform in so many languages.
Yeah. Well, recently we performed in Italian, and my problem is that my Italian can sound quite convincing. So I have an almost perfect accent. So when I start talking, my started phrases, my pattern, my learned pattern, and then they reply to me in the same speed they would talk to an Italian, and I don't understand anything. That's even more difficult than admitting from the start that you don't understand them.
But the reason why I mentioned this is not to just brag, oh, we will be able to perform in those countries, is to actually point to the magicians out there who are listening to your podcast or following your channel, the particularities about our act and our method that makes it possible to perform in different languages. And this is the first thing that we have up our sleeves, and it's been on our minds and part of our creativity ever since we started back in 2012, so 10 years ago.
Yeah, so it would take us probably a few weeks, but then we could even perform in Farsi or, well, maybe not Chinese, but
Mandarin.
in many other languages. That's part of our methods. But what I would say is the biggest USP, so to say, is that we have a very theatrical approach. We have this theater show that we spend a lot of money and we poured a lot of money and energy into it, at least a 6-figure number of euros, which equals dollars.
Well, plus your $1 million insurance check in case you get busted, that you'll have to, you got that to back it up. Of that's 7 figures there. Yeah,
exactly.
Yes, but you see, many interpret it wrongly. It's not about getting busted. It's rather about holding up the claim that we are using no electronics, no secret assistants. It's really a 2-man show, so to say, and no pre-arrangements, no pre-show. And because just claiming it never came across as convincing enough to the audience, we went to the notary and signed this affidavit, and we would we would owe $1 million if we broke our promise.
And that's already our second USP, and both is coming together in our theater show that is really only run by Anca and me. So of course there are stage helpers and there are technicians, sound technicians, and lighting guys, but nobody is helping us with the magic. It's only the 2 of us, all our effects, nothing prearranged, no pre-show, nothing.
Which is both challenging, but also makes it easy, because like this, we don't depend on anyone. So we can transport a 2-hour theater show to any location, give or take a couple of days if it's really a matter of a different continent. But we would only need a couple of hours with the local technicians there. So the sound guy, the light guy, and
we only have,
that's it.
I think 3 suitcases would be enough. So
yes.
Theoretically, if we would jump on the next plane, we could perform our theater show within 24 hours anywhere in America.
So,
well, I'm gonna keep that in mind when I get a theater in New Orleans. For sure.
So that approach was at our basis, both in developing the Mind Reading Revolution, our original act, and then the theater show, that to keep it simple and nevertheless complex, rather in meaning and artistic presentation, but not in the technicalities behind it.
Yeah, and this is what our theater show is about. So we created this theater show in mind we didn't want it to be just a show like in Las Vegas. We wanted to bring it to theater stages. You have to know that theater is really big in Europe, especially in Austria. In Vienna, the capital alone, I think there are more than 150 theater stages.
Wow.
So
in a city of only 2 million people.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have a lot of theater goers.
Yes.
And we wanted to attract even those who didn't like magic so far. And the show is of course, it's all around mentalism. It's a mentalism show, but we're also telling the story of how we got together.
Yes.
So that's the storyline. And because it all started with the word hello. You want to tell him?
Yes, when we first met, it was at an international cocktail. I had no idea he's a magician. I was a business consultant at the time. And Luca came across and said, hello. And I felt mesmerized by his eyes. And I said, hello. He smiled and walked away and disappeared.
So
Well,
this
just
was
so you,
hello.
I know there's got to be more to it. Just so you know, we do have quite a few conversations that start with that word. So yeah, so I'm sure there's more to it to make it unique, but
but that was a whole conversation.
But you're saying that was the only word. That was
Yes.
That was the beginning and end of the conversation. Okay.
I went home. I felt so heartbroken. Then the next day
She asked herself, what was wrong with hello?
Yes.
And
on the next day, he approached me on Facebook. I was shocked. How did he know my name?
He's a mentalist.
This story is part of our theater show, and it's the red thread line that connects the illusions. So basically, the theater show is presented like a theater play in which we perform illusions that make sense to the story.
So we reenact this evening when I first saw her standing in a queue, when I saw her again, and the first date, which was an 8 hours walk through Vienna. And it's all around how did I find her again? Well, first of all, why did I leave after saying hello, and I just smiled and turned away and walked away? Why did I do that? And then she
that was
gone.
Actually, that was my next question. Like, are you Batman and had an emergency that the commissioner was calling? No, I'm trying to think. Did you have to go to the bathroom? I'm trying to think of a good excuse to just walk away from this beautiful woman. So do we have to watch the show, or can you?
No, I can get this away. So the truth was, I tried to come up with something spontaneous, right? So I didn't want to use any standard line because she looked special, and I wanted her to be the woman of my dreams straight away, not only look-wise, but also, I was thinking if she's such a nice person as she's looking, then, straight to the church. And so I wanted to come up with something witty or funny. But when I looked into her eyes and she said hello, I couldn't come up with anything.
Wow.
And I was just looking at her. And then I realized, and I smiled, and I kept thinking and thinking, and it was like an eternity, what was in reality only 2 seconds. And then I realized at one point, okay, this is now the last moment when I can turn away with a smile without coming across as a weirdo. Yeah. So that's what I did. And I turned away and walked away. And okay, I thought I would buy myself some time, think about something else, and approach her again, walk back. And when I did, a couple of minutes later, she was gone.
Here, I guess the modern way of how we would put it is you got scared. Is another way we say scared. It's just kind of like a yeah. So you got scared, which I understand. Yeah, scared away. I picture you walking back up with like a notebook and then like shaking your head and just ripping the paper up and like keep continuing to try and never actually getting it. Wow, that's amazing. I'd like to go back to what you were saying about the languages, because for people that know nothing about mentalism, it would sound like, okay, well, learning your act in a language is not as hard as actually learning to speak and communicate in that language. However, not that I know how anything is done, but everyone assumes that you've got a method of communication, and what goes into the detail that goes into how mentalists have to train and learn. It would almost seem that could be more difficult to pick up a new language for that type of act as opposed to actually learning how to speak the language. I mean, that level of difficulty is huge. I would imagine.
We're actually using not one or two methods. We're using many different methods combined. It was always my approach to magic that by combining, how do you say, weaving methods into each other.
Yes.
Yeah. One can eliminate the other. But okay, the way we talk and what we tell each other and also the spectators, of course, is a part of the method. And of course, it is difficult in a new language. So from the start, we try to come up with methods and ways to keep our magic so flexible that we can easily adapt it to other languages.
And I'm going to admit something to you here, especially at FISM when there's so much magic, jam-packed that eventually you get to the point where I can't watch another card trick, right? And I remember I was sitting there, and it wasn't the finals, it was the first time you're on, and I said, all right, I'm all about the comedy magic. If the next act is cards or mentalism, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I got up to leave, and something happened. And I wish I could remember exactly the moment. I can remember exactly where you were standing on stage, but I don't remember what it was. But it stopped me, and I realized, I'm like, okay, these guys are captivating me, because I stopped in my tracks. I turned around. I want to say Eric Tate was behind me, and I said, I think these guys are going to win. And he said, I thought you had to go to the bathroom. And I was like, I do have to go to the bathroom, but now I need to watch this act. So, yeah. And it's because of that, because of the fact that the way that I was grabbed that way, I realized that you had that effect on the room, and that you were probably taking it all the way. It was like that, just that moment, how you just have these moments where you're just like, it's actually a psychic moment. I predicted.
This is the most beautiful compliment. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, because I feel that I was presenting it almost in the I didn't want you to get offended. Like, what do you mean you went to the bathroom during our act? Like, that's not, I didn't know you or anything, and I just had to go. But I was worried that you would take it the other way. But that's, yes. I think that when you have just in just a moment, in just a glance, when you can tell that someone is polished, someone is a winner, and someone's taken it. And I think I wasn't the only person that knew that at that moment, or just at any moment in your act, that realized what was happening. And speaking of that act, so Jeff got, and I want a huge thanks to Jeff McBride for hooking us up, and because there was like 2,000 people at FISM, and I didn't get to actually meet you guys, even though I got to see you, I didn't get to meet you, and so I was very thankful that Jeff put us in touch so we could do this. He asked you some amazing questions about competition, and one of those was, why do you do your competition act? And you said something about being Polish, or is one of you Polish? No, I can't. You said because of the polish, and that you had it was, I should have written down as a quote that a competition act will have a polish that no other theater act will have, something to that effect. And so I wanted you to speak a little bit about that, about the benefits of why, because you're going back, your plan is to continue. You've got you have the trophy, you have the best in the world, but you're not done. Oh yeah, could we see that? As beautiful as you are, Lucca, I'd like to see right behind your head there. Wow.
There's the big one, the World Championship. But of course, we started with National Championship in Austria, and then Switzerland, and then we became European champions, and we were vice world champion twice, 2015 in Rimini, 2018 in Korea, and now at the end is the World Championship in Canada. And yes, we would like to continue competing, even if, of course, we know there's the risk of not even getting another prize if we keep competing. But we love the competition.
And and you brought up an important point, that it's an amazing goal. But is it a fact that no mentalist has ever taken the Grand Prix?
That's true.
Never.
That's true.
Wow. That would be huge. Yeah.
So we do have an act in progress with that's linked to the act that we performed now. So
Okay.
we have to go back to 2021 European Championships Manresa. We were not prepared to go there at all
because of the pandemic.
Yeah, we weren't vaccinated, and at that point we weren't.
Yes.
Yeah, so we couldn't register. Yeah, and we were still waiting for the vaccinations to be
Here
rolled
in
out in Austria.
Yes.
And as soon as we got the vaccinations,
and then
beginning of May.
Romania, I am from Romania, and from here to my city it's just like 5 hours driving. Then Romania announced that they will start vaccinating rather soon. So we could drive to Romania, get vaccinated, both of us, and then Luca said, then let's register for the European Championship.
But it was not possible anymore because it was closed. Yeah, so we thought we couldn't go there. And then just I think 3 or 4 weeks before the European Championships, FISM representatives let us know that somebody dropped out.
Also because of the pandemic regulations.
And they offered us a slot. And I told Anca, we have this first fusion of mentalism and dance, which we were starting to work on in 2019, right?
Yeah.
And now we haven't rehearsed it. And so there is no way we get it done until July for the European Championships. It's impossible. So let's do it. And
that's one of the videos that I have. And just wanted to mention, I'll show those later for you guys. But Abel, feel free to throw the links in so that people can find that, especially something that unique. I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, and this was basically when we went there. When we went on stage, it was the first public rehearsal with a real spectator, because we had lockdowns in Austria. There was no way we could ask anybody to come and to rehearse with us. So we had only rehearsed in our living room theater where we are right now. And it was our first rehearsal on stage. And of course, it was not polished at all. And we did it just to have fun. And also
But had we not chosen to go to that European Championship last year, we wouldn't have worked on that act, and we wouldn't have pushed our limits, because we really had to, of course, nevertheless train a lot for it in those few days, a couple of weeks, while having the kids with us. That's the real magic, balancing life with 2 little kids and performing and training. And that's part of the reason why we say, when you prepare for a competition, you push your limits, you polish an act, and even if you're not completely ready, the way we were at the European Championship last year, you may achieve amazing results that you wouldn't have achieved before. And this is the best for us, you get amazing feedback from colleagues, from judges, from the magic community.
And in this particular case, it helped us to win FISM in Quebec 22. Why? Because for this dancing act, it's called the Oracle of Transylvania. We're using gypsy dresses, a gypsy background, gypsy music, and one of the judges told us afterwards that apart from the magic,
back at the European Championship
in Manresa, that he loved the atmosphere that we created. And when we came back, I told Anca, why don't we give our old act, the Mind Ring Revolution, with which we had won second place twice, another chance for FISM in Quebec. Anyway, North Americans haven't seen our act already, so for them it's something new. But let's give it another twist, because you are from Transylvania, and people kept asking her all the time, like you, does it have anything to do with your apparent skills on stage? So why not portraying it like that?
And my background is in dancing. I started as a dancer at the age of 4. I was actually a professional dancer for many years before meeting Lucca. So I do have stage experience, and I do have gypsy blood, and I love this cultural approach to magic that makes it then maybe more interesting or more engaging to watch. And we just brought all these elements together, and working with Jeff McBride has had a huge influence on the act, and that's how we ended up at Quebec with the presentation that you watched.
Excellent. I'm picturing also that you guys could, if he dressed like a werewolf, and then you could do the like a Beauty and the Beast kind of scenario. Mentalism is different than other types of magic. Are there a lot of similarities that you don't have to change as much? And so what makes the competition act specifically that indifferent?
I would start with the time pressure, because that, especially for mentalism, is very significant, as you need to build this rapport with the audience. And,
Sure.
and in a championship act, you have, in a competition act, you have much less time. So the time pressure has an impact. Whereas if I have a manipulation routine, that may last just as long for a lay audience as it will do for normal, for a competition setup. Whereas in mentalism, just now in Quebec, where you saw us, we knew we have maximum 45 seconds to get the random spectators on stage. And the same part of the act. In a normal setup, we allow ourselves 2-3 minutes to also maybe make jokes, tell more of the background story. But at the championship, you don't have that time, and that has an impact on everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, in mentalism, everything, or at least with our type of mind reading act, everything happens live on stage spontaneously. You have to be prepared for it, but at the same time, you can never know what will happen. So again, in a competition setup, you have to be very quick in responding to the changes and to the transformations of the act on stage. And whereas in a normal setup, you have less pressure.
Yeah. Although I have to admit that it's. I mean, we are silly enough to try to use all the 10 minutes. So every time we go to Fizen, we end our act between 9:50 and
Wow.
10:03. Yeah, because we always feel like we want to show as much as possible, not only to the judges but to the audience. There are some advantages as well. For example, when in our act we had somebody who was supposed to take out a card from a deck of cards. Yeah. So I was way more confident that he wouldn't drop the cards because we were at a magic convention, yeah, than I would be with a layman.
Okay,
yeah.
sure, yeah.
And then of course we had some jokes, like when Anca said,
"The spirit of Tamaris is whispering to me."
Yeah,
Nice.
that you can only do for magicians. And
I mean, I can
Sure.
do it for lay audience. They will just
Yeah,
anyway. The
they
name
won't get it,
Tamaris
yeah.
sounds mystical.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, it is.
And what I personally like, and it's also Lucca's approach, and actually it's the one thing that got us together also as a couple, the puzzles. And when you perform for magicians, and when you perform in a competition setup, the puzzles are also brought on stage. Whereas for a lay audience, the spectators who come on stage and are part of your routine, they may be knowledgeable, but they may not know. They for sure will not know as much as the magician will do. And then your challenge is to already impress those on stage, not only the audience out there. You have to get good reactions from these people.
And I would say it's more challenging in that respect of the pressure to do something that's a fool, or like I think a comedy magician can get away with being entertaining and do a great act, and that might even win, even if the audience doesn't feel that they were fooled by anything, if they know how it's all done. But I feel like if you watch a mentalism act, you guys could be so entertaining, but if at the end you're leaning over going, I know how they did everything, or at least you think you did, then it's going to really work against. Chances are you may not take home a trophy. So that would be my impression. How much planning went into, okay, we need to fool magicians, we need to think on a higher level?
A lot, but this is our approach in general. Lucca is very much the perfectionist, and he wants to push the method as much as possible to the limits, like really. And many times I'm thinking it would be great if somebody could film us when we rehearse and we prepare. And that's why we missed a lot of Quebec of the experience, because we kept rehearsing. By the way, also a tip for everyone who considers competitions, we kept rehearsing mistakes. Like in the last 2 weeks, we focused a lot on rehearsing mistakes. So what if this goes wrong? What if this, because in our act at FISM, we had, I think, 45 effects in total. I know who comes on stage and details and so forth. And this type of approach is, of course, even more important for a competition act. But then if you master it there, when you bring it to a lay audience, it's just beautiful.
Just
first of all, I would take a step back and question something, because when you said it's too good to be real, the too perfect theory.
sure.
Yeah? So I'm not judging here, and I don't have a strong opinion for either way. But you have to ask yourself: is it your intention in the first place to make it look real? Yeah,
That's
just
an
an
excellent
interesting.
Have you, just out of curiosity, have you ever been like turned away from a casino or that type of situation because they totally do not trust you at all?
No, not
Okay.
yet.
Well, it
No,
happens. It happens to me a lot.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
that's another story
I
for
didn't
another
forget
time.
about your question about mistakes. So
Yes.
I want to be very honest here with you and all the listeners. So we keep making a lot of mistakes, and even at FISM, yeah. And part of the reason is that, in all honesty, because of the pandemic, and first of all, and then also because we have two kids, we can't go on a cruise ship and perform for many months 2 shows a day, because we have 2 boys, 5 and 8 years old. So especially in the last 2 years, it was very difficult to perform for real audiences. And in Mentalism, nothing beats experience. You can never rehearse what can possibly go wrong.
Sure.
Things can go wrong that you cannot even imagine. Yeah, that could go wrong on stage. So we keep making mistakes, and but we're learning more and more. We consider ourselves to be in a learning process. We don't consider ourselves to be at the summit of anything. So we're feeling like,
I rather feel like we're still in the beginning.
yeah, we're just starting.
Yeah.
And while many manipulators, they
a hell of a beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but many manipulators, they have performed their act hundreds of times in order to win the world championships, and we feel like we've won the world championships in order to get the chance to perform hundreds of times.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's what we intend to do. But more and more, we realize and we learn and we practice that mistakes are not a problem; they are a huge opportunity.
I don't know if you also saw us the next day at the winners gala.
Oh my God!
I don't. But well, wait. Are you telling me? Because was there a mistake that I should have known about? Because I
Yeah.
There's a great lesson in it.
I don't remember that though. So you either covered it well or I didn't get it. That
so in the winners gala, again, 3 random spectators come on stage, and I literally don't see anything. So that it's really not part of the method. So I'm blind. Let's not even get into it. It's a fact, yeah.
Okay.
So the first effect, I know who's coming, so I feel a masculine presence. There's a man, a woman, and so forth, and then we start the effects with each of them. And the first person, he's asked on stage, if you have any object, just take it out. And I love your cat. Hello.
Sorry, he always distracts people.
So cute. We also have outside.
I have 2, so I understand the whole kid thing, because I have 2 of these guys, and I mean, I don't care what anybody says. It's just the same. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, kids. I'm sure they eat more.
We also have, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. And yeah, he loves Mentalists, especially, don't you? Yeah. This is fits. Oh, actually, I want you to get back to that though. I didn't mean for him to interrupt you, but while he's here, do you want to show them your act? This is my duo act. Watch this. I'm gonna show you. High five. High five. High five. Good. Now I'm gonna do it just.
So
but now I'm not gonna say it. I'm just gonna think it, because he's gonna read my mind. I didn't say anything, and he doesn't even speak English. Good job.
Very good.
No, of course he does it for a reason. I don't know if this is how you trained Anca with treats, but that's what. I'm sorry. So I'm very curious. Okay, talk to me about. Okay, so you come over here now. Talk to me about.
What makes you believe that I train her?
So we start our act. So the first effect with the gender, and I know who's where. And then we get into the act, like the first person, please take out any object you have in your pocket or with you and present it. And in this case, the gentleman had a passport. I receive the feelings, I describe it, I say there's a passport, and then I want to go for the name. And his name was Robert.
Robert, yes.
Robert, which I'm not allowed to go into details, but for us, it's rather easy. Let's just say.
Okay.
It's one of the easiest names at all. And normally you could wake her up at 2:30 a.m. in the night.
And yes.
And
she's thinking about Robert?
And she would be able to tell
yeah.
that I'm thinking of Robert. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you're thinking of
Luca was happy that I'm going to deliver such a nice sentence, because of course I have my usual sentence and think of your name and try to say, oh, it's Robert. But for particular reasons, I'm going for Quentin. And Luca is, you had a spontaneous reaction. You said like,
yeah. So when I saw the name Robert, I thought, wow, this is really going to impress them, because this is ultra clean. This is super. This is really good. You know, it couldn't be better. There couldn't be a better name than Robert. Yeah. Super easy, super deceiving. And then she says Quentin.
But that's okay. Robert in Romanian, right? That's the equivalent. Yeah.
Yeah. So I ask, right? And he said,
he shook his head.
No,
right?
no,
it's not Robert.
It's not Robert. It's not Quentin. It's not Quentin. Yeah,
Quentin is my stage name.
and I thought, okay, but now Anca, it must be absolutely clear to her what we're talking about, and it's Robert. And she says, yeah, I see the name Quentin. So I turn over to him and I tell him, still not Quentin. Yeah.
The guy shakes his head, and then I'm like, or Richard.
No, wait a second. Yeah, and then she finally, I mean, I was inside.
He was
dying.
This was the winner's gala. Right?
Yeah. I wanted. So I finally she got that it starts with an R. The name starts with an R. Yeah, and she says,
Richard. For whatever reason, Luca is dying in there. Yeah. And then spontaneously out of nowhere, the following joke more or less came to me. Like, oh, but your parents had different options between Richard and Robert, and you are Robert. And the guy gives a confirmation, and he's laughing, and the audience reacts nicely to it. This mistake I wasn't prepared for. So this story that your parents had different options was something that spontaneously came to my mind. The rest of the act, all the other effects, you know, the gesture, the 16-digit number, the wishes, the revelations. I told you 45 effects. But this was the mistake that I had, and I had a spontaneous reaction to it. Afterwards, those people who saw the act in the competition, in the winners gala, they were, it was so much better today. And I was like, but I had I struggled with the name. Yeah, but that made it feel so real. And then you were so funny with that joke with the parents. It was the biggest lesson, I swear.
And because there was something on the line, it made it now, like, not to say dangerous, but in our minds, like, oh no, she might not get it. Like you had that element of danger, of surprise, of worry happening. Yeah. And no, I did not realize. I must have thought that's how it's supposed to go, and probably created that realism.
No, this is how it looks like when something goes wrong. Really wrong.
Yeah.
That's great. And so that brings me to my next question, which is about improv. So I teach improv at a local high school here, and that's been a big part of my life when I started doing improv training. But I kind of did things out of order because I was already a working magician before doing any formal improv training, and then started realizing how I had been adapting and learning these techniques along the way without knowing it. Mentalist, to me, it's bizarre because most people think improv, they think comedy, and that is usually used for that. And I try to explain to my students that when you master these skills, it's way more, it's about life. It's way more, it's about anything, applies to anything, not just comedy. So here's a situation where you guys are using improv techniques, and sometimes it's comedic, but for the most part, it's used, the purpose is entirely different. It's to either to get information, to keep the conversation going, to read who you're talking to. I would love to hear your thoughts on and advice for people wanting to learn more about improv. How do you use these techniques, and how do you apply them?
Well, our first acting coach was an improv acting coach. We started with him in 2015. And you have to understand that part of our training, we've been, of course, learning magic. I learned a lot initially only from Lucca. I learned everything from Lucca, and then together with Lucca from books, seminars, attending lectures, competitions, and now training with Jeff McBride for the past 3 years. But in parallel to the magic learning, we've been doing acting training. And as I said before, we started with improv acting. And then we moved on to a different teacher, and then we moved on to another teacher who has the Meissner method. I hope I pronounce it correctly.
Yeah, sure.
But at our basis was improv.
Excellent.
And I think without this, we wouldn't have made it so far. And we still think we are very much behind in terms of acting. We just contacted our acting coach again, and we will restart training with him. But it's very, very important to the presentation of an act in general and to mentalism in particular.
Yeah. So here, and again, I'm going to be very honest with you. When I saw the video footage of our act the first time, my stomach was crunching. It was physically painful for me to watch how bad our acting was. Because
it was good, but the acting.
Because the truth is, there is so much going on mentally in both our minds, that we don't really have the capacity to focus on the acting so much. And that would only come if we perform our act like twice a day for a month or two somewhere, but we're hoping to get there, and nothing beats stage experience. So we see a huge potential there in what we're doing.
And right after winning, actually, that's also quite, I think it's significant for anybody who wants to consider competition. When you participate, of course, you get lots of feedback if you want, because some people may not be interested, but if you want, you get lots of feedback from fellow competitors, from the audience, but also from the judges. So you can approach the judges once the competition is finished, and they give you extremely important feedback. And we did exactly that. And two of them were like, "But you won. Why do you want feedback?" We were telling them, no, we feel like there's so much space there to be improved. There's so much potential. We want to hear your critical feedback, what you didn't like, what can be improved, what should be changed completely. We may not take all the ideas, but we will consider them.
Yes. So here is one advice that we would like to give to especially the young magicians listening to us here. Go to an acting class tomorrow. After all, a magician is an actor playing the role of a magician. And if there's, my biggest regret is, apart from not meeting Anca early in my life, is I should have become an actor in the first place. I think Pierrick is an actor, trained actor, or if you remember Gaston from Germany, These are the basic skills that you learn as an actor, and then of course the magic is important, but you can get away with not so perfect magic if you are a very good actor.
Well, and especially if you're very good at improv. And I think that for the most part, people don't realize, even other magicians, because there's magic acts that don't require improv at all, or gaining that skill, that have no idea that your show, and a mentalist show, is very much like an improv comedy show, because you're building the show around suggestions from the audience. You're building around the material is coming from them. Pull something out of your wallet. Give me a name off the top of your head. It's just like me walking out and go, all right, we're going to create a scene. Where are we going on vacation? What's something you'd get for your birthday? And we're just going to make that entertaining, but you're going to actually make that magical, not even knowing what you're about to work with. And that to me is what make every show is different. Every show is unique and special to the crowd.
And one of the effects that we're showing is the object. So in Quebec, we only showed one object, but
in Rimini and Korea, we had
3 or 4 spectators.
4 spectators to take out any objects from your pockets and think of it.
And the particularity about our act is it can be any object. I mean, at the Mindvention in Las Vegas, we had a Wartenberg wheel, which is a medical instrument that can also be used for other fields of life, which we learned later. We didn't know. It's like a SM technique. Yeah, you can use it for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. What? Back there. So, what was the object?
It's called a Wartenberg wheel.
But it looks like a torture instrument.
Yeah, a small torture instrument. Okay. Yeah. Like a pizza slicer, but with spikes.
Okay. But back to the intro. The point is. Random
I have one right here. Hang on. No.
Random spectators come on stage. They can bring any objects. The way I receive the information, that's the beauty of our method. He almost says nothing. You hear nothing from him. But then here's the improv part. Yeah, I build up stories. So I'm not just saying, oh, you have I don't know, a knife in your pocket. So I have to come up with stories. Think of using it. I'm suddenly getting very scared. Somebody is attacking me, or oh no, actually spreading butter on a bread. You must be thinking of a knife. And this is where improv techniques come into. Because if you just say a knife, yeah, it's nice, but it's not so impressive and it's not so artistic.
But not only Anca has to improvise, I have to improvise as well, because I cannot turn any object down. I cannot select. Yes, right. That's, by the way, that's what I never liked about the classical approach of this act. While of course I also understand its advantages of connecting to the audience when you walk into it, but I never liked that the person that walks into the audience can choose which objects the medium has to reveal, and he could leave out some if they're inconvenient or maybe too difficult, right? So there was one of the first premises for our act, that it has to be possible for us to say something about any object. So we even came up with a method to describe an object, even if nobody knows what it is. And in Busan 2018, we even challenged the jury, or we asked them, to give the random spectators that are also selected by the jury and that you don't know in advance, to give them one object that nobody knows. So that there is not even a name for it.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah. So Anca had to describe it like roundish, that long, and it's rather quite flat, and what it is used for, and so on. Yeah. So even I have to improvise many times as the sender. I think
that's pretty interesting. How do you communicate something when you don't even know what it is, but you're trying to communicate what you don't know to her? That's very, very interesting. And could definitely see how you're gonna really rely on improv
by
skills.
The way, this is also true for our latest effect, the duplication of a hand movement.
And it's only because we were in Quebec, we increased our repertoire from 250 movements.
Okay. That's the next story. Yeah. I just wanted to say that when you ask somebody to make a movement, a gesture, or sign,
so they're standing behind. She's blindfolded, but she's mimicking the movements of the spectator. That's what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Okay. And the instruction is clear. Like, please make any sign or gesture or movement with your right hand. I mean, it can be with the left hand, but just standard. Yeah. And literally, the person can make anything. Of course, many people like to wave their hand or this, or maybe point at their head, but there are strange, not only strange, there are so many movements. We got hang loose, we got heart, we got many things.
Think of any activity, from pulling a rope, or steering, or cooking, or sewing, or biting your fingernails. There are literally, there are 10,000 things you can do with your hand in the air. And so I'm never 100% certain that I can, within a few seconds, understand what it is and somehow transmit it to Anca. So it's like on C and at court, and as a mentalist, you're in God's hands.
On stage, at
Yeah.
sea, and in court,
Yeah,
you're in God's hands. But back to why should one go to competition? You have to understand, when we went to Quebec, so this was one of the effects, that one of the 3 people on stage should just make any gesture and I will copy it. And we went there prepared with a repertoire of about 250 gestures. And because every day when we met magicians, we were challenging them. Okay, I can't say anything, just do something, put me to the test. I can't tell you why, but we realized that now we can basically multiply the possibilities. So now it's more than 60,000 gestures we could do just by performing for magicians and realizing realizing the potential. So
what part is, may I ask, what part
participating competitions enough? Yeah.
That during your act, when does that come in? What part does the hand gestures?
Remember, there are 3 spectators. First, I say who they are, and then it's like, now let's connect our minds. One spectator should write down a 16-digit number. The one in the middle, please make any sign or gesture or movement with your hand. And the one closest to me, please take out any object. And then I start the revelation. First the object, then the one in the middle. In the competition, if I remember correctly, was it in the winner's gala? The person did like a triangle in the air. Can you see it on camera?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And was it that in the competition or in the
winner's
gala? And the day before, I'm not sure, some sort of movement.
I just remember now that's what it was. That's what kept me from going to the bathroom.
Yeah, the triangle.
Mm-hmm.
That, because I remember where you guys were placed on stage and where remember I said I could remember where you were standing. I don't remember exactly what was going on, but something grabbed me. It was that effect you were doing, because I remember looking like that was too fast. How does she know what it totally floored me when I saw you doing the exact same gestures as the person behind you. And it seemed absolutely impossible. That was the moment for me. When I was like,
we would so much want to talk about our methods and review, because it's really fascinating how much work is behind.
That's the on FISM. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, I give you the mind reading power and amazing abilities of Anca and Lucca. You guys are awesome. See you soon. Hopefully,
and the timing was perfect, because in 3 minutes it's midnight here, and if you remember how we all started it, the moon is out.
Yes, we should keep it on to see the transformation, but I know that no one's caught it on camera for a reason. So we don't want to ruin the magic and see when Lucca turns into a werewolf. So we're gonna let him go. Good night. He's gonna start howling in just a moment. Thank you guys so much. See you soon. Ow!
Good night. Ow!
Ow! Unbelievable. So many pearls of wisdom that being involved with the questioning, I didn't even realize until editing and watching. So I will have a part 2. Ryan says he's all about it. Next week, we have a special show from Ryan Pilling that's going to be on the it's on the internet, people. It's on the Facebook page, on the IBM Facebook page. And so maybe before or after, we'll figure out a time. We'll let you know. So stay in touch so I can share more with you, because obviously they have so much to share with you about FISM, about competitions, about mentalism, about magic. And they're just adorable. It's like eating too much sugar, as you can tell. But guess what? We have an after hours, and it is getting close to Halloween. So I'm going to take a break, and we're going to show a video. Do we have a video? Do we have a video to show? Do we have a link? We're going to show a video, and we're going to end the Facebook stream, but we're going to keep the after hours going and talk magic. And we have Lindsay Noel, who is named after Christmas, but for some reason relates to Halloween. and has a lot of cool Halloween magic to share. So I want to express a huge thank you to Anca and Lucca, world champions of mentalism. I hope to show the second half of your interview because I only asked for 20 minutes. I only asked for 20 minutes and we had like 2 hours of amazing magic talk. So stay tuned for more because I'm going to bring you more. Absolutely. In just a moment, the after party is coming up on Twitch. I'm going to share a video. Do we have a video? Just give me a second. I'm finding the video. They're too pretty and some of you can't handle it. So I'll be right back with you. I realized as we transitioned from the Facebook page of the International Brotherhood of Magicians to the after hours presentation of Not That Magic Mike and whatever other podcast I'm promoting, you couldn't hear the video. That's okay, because it doesn't help you figure it out. So you'd be no closer to figuring out how they do anything. But that was a quick video of their presentation on Penn and Teller. When they really proved something, I think, to magicians and mentalists, because we're so focused on the communication, trying to figure out how is the transmission taking place, but how are you transmitting the information? But if they're saying the same thing over and over, then how does that even count? And that is going to be more of part 2 of the presentation of Anca and Lucca, about how they repeated over and over, take your pen and teller in your mind. Not only are they incorporating the names Penn and Teller, but they're saying the same thing over and over. How can you possibly communicate with someone when you're just repeating yourself? How can you possibly communicate with someone when you're just repeating yourself? How can you possibly communicate with someone when you're just okay? So Lindsay's waiting, and she's like, "All right, funny guy, let's do this. Can we talk about Halloween?" Next month, I have on the show who has been a past Penn and Teller competitor and also was booked at the last international convention for the International Brotherhood of Magicians, Lindsay Noel. And she's here to talk to us about the current theme, which is Halloween. So let's bring her on.
Ooh.
Hello. Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Hello there. Hi.
Hi.
Oh my God, you look amazing.
Thank you. I just, I thought, what would Wednesday wear as a cool adult? And this seemed right. So.
Totally right. It's not even Wednesday yet. It's still Tuesday.
I know. Listen, I'm always ahead of the game, Michael. What do you want?
Yes, one ahead. It's a magician's principle. It's called one ahead. It's the one ahead rule.
It's true. In fact, I have half a costume on underneath. You'll see what it is later.
You have half a costume?
Yeah, just to be a step ahead.
Nice.
I'll make it feel like it's your choice, though.
Okay. I love it. I love it. Beautiful. Okay, so tell us about what is going on this Halloween season.
What is going on this Halloween season? I love spooky movies. I'm watching a lot of scary movies. I'm watching a lot that I haven't seen before because I grew up as a huge genre person. I used to go to the Fantasia Film Festival in Montreal, and I've seen a ton of horror movies basically up until I'm going to say until 2015 or 2014. And in 2014, I stopped for whatever reason watching as many films. But I've gotten back into it, and I've watched a lot of good ones this season. So I'd be happy to share my recommendations. Would you like some recommendations?
Yes, but you said a lot of fictional words there, like Fantasia and 2014.
Yes. So Fantasia Film Festival is a horror genre festival that happens in Montreal every year. It still happens. In fact, it is if you're making a horror movie, that is where you want to have your premiere. It's a big deal. And I just watched a film that premiered in Fantasia, I think in 2020, called Censor last night, and it was amazing.
Censor.
So, yeah. Censor. Censor came out in 2021. I'm also on a kick of short horror movies because I made some choices a few months ago to watch movies that were 2.5 hours long, and 2 movies in a row were very terrible. Not even they were terrible. It was like a struggle, but you get an hour and 20 minutes in and you're like, we can't turn back now. So you watch the whole movie. And I did that a few times, and then I said, no, 90 minutes or less. That's it. You got 90 minutes to make your point. And it's great because it makes everything in the movie important.
So that's how long you have if you're watching at home. But that's a long period of time. How long, if you're in the audience, how long do you have?
For a horror movie?
Or I guess anything to keep your attention.
Oh, it depends. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've watched a lot of films that are like 3-hour long epics, and I very much enjoyed them. There are really great long films. It's just not every film needs to be 2 hours and 20 minutes long, is my point.
Yeah, not every film, for sure.
Everybody needs an editor, and people need to learn how to murder their darlings. So I mean murder. Kill is too delicate. I want to murder them. Murder your darlings.
Like Toy Story 4 did not need to be 2 hours.
Oh man, you're gonna make me look like a bad Disney girl. I actually haven't seen Toy Story 4.
That's okay because it was too long.
It was too long. You know, it didn't make the cut. It's true. Sorry, Pixar. Try again.
Yeah. Well, no, or like, start something new because we've already had 3. So
right.
You have to. I feel like you have to have a reason to have a number 4. You have to have a good reason.
I mean,
like George
tell
Lucas.
That to the Hellraiser series.
Right. Yes.
I think there's 11.
Is there that many, really?
Oh gosh, we just went over this. I believe there are 11 in total, but I found out a very interesting thing about the Hellraiser series because they figured like it was one of the early, had a psychological element. So whenever low budget movies would come and present a script that could even possibly have some element that could be mildly psychological torture, they'd be like, you know what? Stick a Cenobite in it. Call it a Hellraiser. Who cares? Have fun. Who are we to hold you back? Make the 9th one.
Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna like needle you about it.
Well played, Michael.
Well played.
Yeah.
So, I want to know more about like what is specifically happening in the world of magic and why people start thinking about magic around Halloween time.
Well, it is National Magic Month, right? October.
It is? Wait, it is?
Yeah. It's fine.
I didn't send cards. I didn't send any cards.
You didn't send a single card?
No, but I'm gonna send one to you. I'll send you a card. I didn't.
All your clients are gonna know you're a faker, not a real magic man. Don't even know about National Magic Month.
It's National Magic Month.
Yeah, National Magic Month. It's National Magic Month. So I don't know. It's been for me October. I have we're doing a really big gig with Meadow, who is moderating. Right? Thank you. Hi, Meadow. Meadow Perry's the best. If you don't know Meadow Perry, I'm sure if you've been around for Michael stuff, I think she's in your chat pretty often. But do I have to say?
And she's like handling up on all the graphic stuff.
Right. They looked great.
Digital things look real, and I don't know what's in the future or the past anymore because it looks like it's happening now.
That's amazing.
Like bubbles, yeah.
Do I have to call? Can I call you Meadow? I can call you Meadow Perry, right? Because we're doing Magic Talk now. We don't have to use Twitch names.
We will bring her in whenever you're ready.
Okay. But I'm saying if I'm addressing Meadow, tell me in the chat, are you Meadow or Kelpie? Can I call you? Which one should I call you here?
Oh no, this is all magic related.
This is all magic related. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, all I can remember of you being on Twitch, Michael, is you doing freak stuff on your birthday and me saying your name over and over again and promising you I would stop. That sounds so terrible. Oh my God.
Yeah, well, you don't have the reference. It does, but it's okay. And I should have been prepared and had the clip of that moment. And I don't have it ready, but it's okay. No, this is more magic related.
Okay, great.
But we're gonna have more ninja related stuff as well. So awesome. It's understandable. I appreciate the confusion. Yes.
Well, I come from the world of two names, but before we get into that, what I was saying is I have an event coming up with my partner Francis and with Meadow Perry and Mystique at the Autumn Lands Festival for Burlington County. We're putting together a whole Magic Land tent, and Meadow will be there doing bubble magic in the early part of the day. So I think she's the first act. So if you want to see Meadow, you got to come early.
Wait, when?
October 22nd.
Okay.
And it's called Autumn Lands Festival. It's by Burlington County, which has a really bizarre history, specifically about Smithville. There's a guy named H.B. Smith, which Smithville is named for, and he's a wild story. He was alive from 1816 to 1881, and 89. And he was a bigamist, but that didn't come out until after he moved to New Jersey from Vermont when he left his wife and 4 children. He, for whatever reason, he wanted to go start industry. He was an inventor, and he moved to what would one day be called Smithville, and fell in love with a woman named Agnes. And Agnes was much younger than him, but she was a student at Penn Medicine. And he wanted to divorce his wife, and she refused, his first wife back in Vermont named Evelyn. And so H.B. Smith will do what I say, or what I've been calling performed a divorce, wherein his wife refused to grant him the divorce. So he went up there and he said, "Give me all of the love letters that we've written each other." And so she gave him all the love letters, and he burned them. And he's like, "Hand me the family Bible." And he ripped her name out of it. And then he wrote her a check for $500, and he said, "Here, we're not married." And he left and went back to New Jersey, where he did many more weird things in New Jersey, including made the bicycle railroad. He also ran for Congress. And when he announced his run for Congress, he did it from a moose-drawn chariot, which, yeah. So we're doing a magic show there, a little bit of a spooky magic show, but also there are elements and callbacks to the many weird things about H.B. Smith. So I'm very excited.
I'm going to be honest with you. I had a couple shots of tequila, as I normally do before I start my show, but not enough to miss the fact that you said both moose-drawn carriage, which I need an explanation about, and bicycle railroad.
Okay, actually, oh god, they're too big. I can show you the moose-drawn chariot.
If it's too big, make it work.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Wait. Okay, hold on. Yeah, good.
I have to run into my kitchen. My mic might cut out. Okay, so the county of Burlington already has their own moose. So we don't have to provide the moose. We just had to provide the carriage for a photo op. So I'm going to lift it up now into the camera. Oh God. Let's see. Can we see that? Oh God. There we go. That is the chariot. It took many hours to paint. I don't know if I'll offer photo ops again in the future. But I am proud of having made it, and it's done now. The bicycle railroad I will describe to you, because that one is 6 feet wide and 4.5 feet tall. But the bicycle railroad was what H.B. Smith created for his factory workers to ride from the town in which they all lived to where they worked to make bicycles. And so the bicycle railroad was like 3 rails vertically, and then a big wheel in the front of you and a small wheel behind you. And you would get on and you'd sit on this bike, and as you pedaled, it would go along almost like a monorail. So it would carry them across all of the countryside to get to and from work. I gotta tell you that my mom lost her little toe in a bicycle accident when she was a kid. She's riding her bike without shoes on. Never do that. She lost her pinky toe. She has 9 toes. So the way that this thing works is you hold the handlebars on the sides of the wheel in the front of you. And in my head, I'm just like, how many fingers got lost? How many factory fingers were lost in the process of going to and from work? And probably a lot.
Which is especially scary for magicians.
Magician. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's a good Halloween story. Anytime you lose a finger.
It's true. My mom will yell at kids riding their bicycles without shoes on and be like, put your shoes on, look at my toe. And she'll like hold her toe up.
Oh,
Can I get my foot in the camera? I'm pretty sure I did it.
She's like Creed from The Office.
Yeah, she can do a high kick and shows off her toes.
Well,
no,
I don't know about
like
high
kick. I got really excited about that.
They have a kids' day on The Office. They have like bring your kids to work day, and Creed goes, "Have you ever seen 9 toes?" and
yeah,
like proceeds to take off his foot. They never explain why he only has 9 toes, but I'm guessing it was a bicycle accident.
At least 479 toes every year are lost to a bicycle.
Wow.
That's a lie.
I totally believed you. And even though 67% of statistics are made up, and I still believed you. I still totally bought it. I mean, because I'm thinking there's a lot of idiots that probably jump on a bike, even though there's this moving chain, barefooted.
A moving chain and the wheels. The spinning wheel of death is really what you got to consider there.
You're not supposed to drive a car in flip-flops. Did you know that? Because you could slip. Yeah. Or Crocs.
Oh, well, I understand this is an unpopular opinion, but Crocs should really be banned.
Totally?
Yeah, I don't. Okay. No, whatever. People really like them, so we shouldn't shame people for what they like.
Yeah, but it's more about the feeling.
Really hate Crocs.
Do you think they should change the name to Gators? I
think they should be advised against.
Because of the slipperiness?
Have you seen them?
Oh, you mean, are you talking about the look of them?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about safety or practicality.
No.
Okay, well, all right. I'm conflicted because the metro side of me, because I identify as a metrosexual, so I don't come out of the closet, I reorganize it. That part of me agrees with you entirely, that who would want to walk around in public? Like if you're leaving the house, you should have changed.
Yeah. But I have a pair of Uggs for the house.
The Cajun side of me that grew up in South Louisiana realizes the practicality of why it's great to wear this rubber flip-flop, although you have to design a rubber that can grip fluid. Like if there's something wet, you have to be able to grip it like a ninja. Otherwise, it's a useless shoe. If it's gonna slip, then why would I pay for this?
Does it have grip?
I can slip on my own without spending money.
Yeah. Do you speak like a man who may secretly own a pair of Crocs?
I have a pair of Crocs, and I've slipped on my pair of Crocs, but yet they're so comfortable. So that's the third factor we haven't considered. They're so comfortable.
Okay. I don't know that.
I still wear them outside, even though I've slipped before.
I'm a Gold Star shoe wearer. I've never put on a pair of Crocs.
Okay, can you I'm going to ask you something. I want you to be honest with me.
Yeah.
What is a Gold Star shoe wearer?
Well, no, it didn't work. So I was trying to make a joke about, because like Gold Star lesbians or Gold Star gays have only ever like had same sex. It's kind of like a elitist, shitty thing that people can do sometimes. So I was trying to make a joke about only wearing proper shoes, but it didn't work.
Wait, okay, so hold on. Wait, can we back up? Because I'm learning that there's words and expressions that I've used all
Yes.
my life that, not that I'm against it, but I just didn't know it takes on a new meaning, like pineapple or upside down pineapple.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've always just known that there's a pineapple. I didn't know it was a symbol.
It's a symbol of what?
Like I'm not taking a side. I'm just saying nobody told me, like, if you put a pineapple on your flag. So can you just back up a bit and explain?
What the pineapple? Wait, okay, hold on. I think of pineapples in the sense of like back hundreds of years ago, wealthy people used to rent a pineapple. Pineapples are so expensive; they cost like thousands of dollars. So rich people would, or not rich people, like,
years ago. Like how many years ago? The 80s?
Hundreds of years ago. This is like
hundreds,
and not rich people, like upper middle class people would rent a pineapple to carry around their own party. Just to be like, look how much money we have. Have you seen the pineapple? Yes, we're clearly rich. Don't eat the pineapple. It is for looking. Pineapple.
They would parade around with a pineapple?
Yeah, yes.
Hundreds of years ago.
Hundreds of years ago.
Wow.
I believe it's in the 1700s, maybe 16 to 18 range, basically. But yeah, that was a thing that used to be. But what is your thing? You said pineapple on a flag means something, and I don't know that. So what does pineapple on a flag mean?
No, I'm not sure. I think it has to be upside down. I'm going to let you take over, but explain what you were talking about. I'm going to go look for my Crocs. I'll be right back.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, well, I'm taking over. That's great. I will tell then, what's a good scary story I can tell? Oh, actually, I shouldn't leave. Michael just left. See, I should need a little bit more time. Oh, here, wait. I'm going to tell about, thank you, Meadow. Just so good. Damn it. Dang it. Try to keep it family friendly. All right, Meadow says, pineapple on the porch is a symbol for swingers to identify that there is a swinger party actively going on. If you drive by a house with a pineapple on the porch, that is a symbol that swingers have used to identify themselves with other swingers. So Meadow, please do tell, then is it gauche to show up if you know about the pineapple? No, it's to tell the people that know about the pineapple, hey, come in. We got a pineapple. Sorry for all those shoulders. Oh, man. Okay, great. If I want people to come and knock on my door, what symbol would I use? I think I'd put out, no, a very good rock would just be there. What kind of, okay, let's limit it to food. Meadow says, Ari, the pineapple on the porch and whether it's cool to go in. I don't know. I'm not a swinger. I just like pineapples. I am also not a swinger. That's true. I don't know if I want to go to a random sex party. I feel like you could be walking into a lot and you don't know what it could be. Not maybe great. Anyway, so what food would I put on my porch to let people know to stop by? Maybe not for swinging. Oh, what would it mean to? Okay, this is a two-part question now. I think the food I would put on my porch would be a box of lemon heads. Really like lemon heads. Great for sharing.
I would say Popeyes. That's what food I would put on my porch. Yeah, okay. I would say Popeyes chicken.
And what does the Popeyes chicken represent? What does it say to passersby that also know?
It says goodness. It says wholesomeness. It says pride. It says chicken.
Okay. I feel like my lemon heads are like, come inside. It's a fun time. It might bust your balls a little, but it's all in good fun. Hey. And like,
sorry.
Are you showing me your Crocs? I gotta come over and look at your Crocs. Oh no, it's just a chicken yelling at me.
It's a turkey.
Sorry, what a dumb question I had.
We're talking about chicken. Calm down. God.
Oh.
All right, so.
Francis, did you give me a seltzer?
Look, I found it.
If you say that, oh my God, look at it. Oh, wait, okay. See, that is decidedly not a fashion crime. It's not
It's a
a
crock.
fashion pipe. Michael, nobody can tell that's a crock.
It's a crock.
Yes, but when we say crock, we mean the monstrosity with the holes on it.
Well, no, this is crock.
I want me some Popeyes. Oh, right, you're on Twitch. I'm going to hang out in the chat on my phone so I can mess with people. This is ideal. I'm going to share it to my Twitch, too. What am I doing? I'm so great at this. Can we tell how much time that I spend on the internet? I hope it's obvious. All right, let's find you. Here we go, Freak VR. I would apologize for not...
It's comfortable, but slippery.
Okay, so this is where the slippery thing comes in.
Well, it's comfort versus slippery. Whoops. Go ahead. So comfort versus slippery.
Comfort versus slippery. Well, no, this is the thing. If they are, oh, great. I am doing a great job. Thank you, Meadow, for correct. Meadow's like this little information goddess that lives in my screen right now, telling me the things I need to know.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Hello.
Hello. I'm an information goddess. Bubble goddess and information goddess. I go by both titles. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. You're the best. Oh, and the Magic Castle mug.
I'm really upset that I don't have Popeyes right now. You know,
DoorDash.
I know when you mentioned you were going to DoorDash some Popeyes earlier, I was like, oh, I should also DoorDash some Popeyes, and then we could have Popeyes at the same time, and it'll feel like we have this cohesive moment happening. But I didn't, and now I'm regretting that decision.
Like slippery Croc comfort shoes.
Yeah, my children wear Crocs, and they get blisters from their Crocs all the time, and I keep telling them they're awful shoes.
Tell your children I'm not sorry for what I said. I meant it.
Dita Von Teese also shares the sentiment about Crocs.
Yeah, you know, I think, I'm glad. I have her book. I like her.
Yeah,
she's great.
I like her too.
We come from the same world, me and Dita Von Teese.
Dita Von Teese.
Yeah.
The art of the tease.
Yeah, the art of the tease, the burlesque. Except I was much less. Oh, thank you, Francis. That's a good call. Just in case. Since my camera was being a little goofy earlier, Francis just brought an extra camera in case things go terribly awry.
Can you please tell Francis that I'm sponsored by Popeyes?
Francis, Michael is sponsored by Popeyes.
I like how Michael just like abandoned us to eat his chicken.
Yeah, he was like, this is important. Why not? Actually, Michael, yeah, you can take your screen off and me and Meadow are going to take over now. Popeyes does have shrimp.
Do they?
Francis wants to be sponsored by Popeyes now. He's jealous.
Wow. Of course, Mike has Popeyes, yes.
I did an audition for a Popeyes commercial and I didn't get it. And I even told them on the camera, I will work for free chicken. And I didn't even get the part.
Do you still work for free chicken?
I drive across town for free chicken.
What I think that says to me is if you work for free chicken, that I can only pay you in chicken that I have not paid for, which sounds like a dangerous game for you, Michael.
Also, it could be a dangerous game for you.
I mean, I don't need the chicken. I'm just going to procure chicken without paying for it.
Yeah, if you're making an extra effort to not pay for it, then that could end up being dangerous for you.
Listen, I got weight.
No, I've been there.
I can get a free chicken if I want a free chicken, Michael.
I understand.
I don't have to get the cow to marry the girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know what you're saying.
I don't know what That's fine, Francis. Get out of here.
Francis, it's okay.
Meadow says you can stay. Yeah, so I don't know. I love Halloween month. Actually, I know it's National Magic Month, but I tend to work less in October because I like to do Halloween activities. Because it's a thing that I prioritize.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
describe some of those Halloween activities.
I love going to haunted houses.
Yeah, she keeps trying to get me to go to a haunted house, and I'm a delicate flower who gets very scared. So
yeah. But I love haunted houses. I go to haunted houses all the time. I try to go to at least one a week in October. Last year I didn't do any, and I did a couple on the road. I actually went, oh my God, went to a great one in South Carolina last year that was the best. It was so good. First of all, great customer service. Just want to start out there.
That's my main thing about haunted houses is usually the customer service. It's like,
terrible.
Come on, can you take your job seriously, please?
Actually, I very legitimately have that complaint often, but that's because I'm too high standards. Ask my husband. So the one it was in South Carolina, and we drove from like Philadelphia down there, and I wouldn't let Francis stop anywhere on the way. Like I was like, when we stopped, I was like timing. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get the gas, and you're gonna go inside and pee, and then I'll run inside and pee as soon as you come out, and then we're gonna hit the road again. Don't drink too much water. We're only stopping to pee when we got to get gas. So don't mess around, Francis. We got a haunted house to get to. I drove the whole time basically because I was being an asshole about this whole thing. I went way too fast the whole way there. And we arrived at I'm going to say 10:45, and they closed at 11. There was no one there. There was someone in the booth though. And I was like, hey, I understand the answer is probably no, but I literally just drove like a crazy person for 12 hours. Can we please go through this haunted house? And they radioed to the people and were like, can they go through? And they were like, yeah, okay. But because it was only me and Francis, and because they were all ready to go home, they literally chased us through. It was like with a chainsaw. I was running the whole time. I think the experience was maybe like 15 minutes total. And it was like what I've always wanted. I just want to be in a horror movie. I want to feel like I might die. And it was so good. It was so good, and I was so worth driving all that way. It was so worth it. It was so amazing. So that one was really exceptional. But when I'm here in Philadelphia, and there's a little, I don't want to say less pandemic, but just like we have more vaccines, I love to go to the ones around here. So every year I try to go to, if I can, Bates Motel, which is out in Glen Mills, PA.
Oh, yeah. That place is famous.
Oh, it's really good. It's a really good haunt. The guy Randy Bates, who owns it, is like amazing at making a haunted house. He for a while also owned Penhurst Asylum. When I used to costume design at that one back in 2012 and 2013, and that's a pretty decent haunt. I haven't been in a few years. I'm going on Sunday. I went to Valley of Fear, which is down in Delaware, I think. But I went there last week, and I just went to Eastern State on Wednesday also. So Eastern State Penitentiary has a good haunt. It's they have to be careful because it's a historic building. So they're very mindful of like the props and stuff and not touching the walls, but it's a very good haunt. It's just in the city, so it tends to be a little crowded. I'm going out to...
When did you get released from the penitentiary?
When did I get released? So I actually quit that job in a fire.
Oh, you were working there?
I did. I was the costume designer.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
But they let you go.
Didn't the ghost hunters do a thing at the penitentiary?
They did. The Eastern State, yes. Other ghost shows have done stuff at Penhurst Asylum.
Gotcha.
So as Eastern State Penitentiary, I've never worked at. Sorry. Eastern State I didn't work at. Penhurst I worked at. And Penhurst is out in Springfield? I want to say Springfield, PA. But yeah, so, and then
that's like close to my house. I didn't know it was that close.
Penhurst is?
It must be because I'm Springfield. I'm like really close to Springfield. I should go.
You should. It's one of my favorites because I like the location. Come with me.
Because I'm
going on Sunday night if you want to go.
That's a possibility. Let's do it.
Gabby and X are going too.
I'm going to be hiding the whole time.
That's fine. They'll get picked on more. That's ideal.
No, I don't want to get picked on.
No, it's ideal. It's great. It's better. It's more fun. Listen, if you're not getting picked on, what's the point of going to a haunted house?
I am a delicate flower. I don't like being scared.
Listen, as long as you don't run into the people in front of you, it's fine. I think that's the only crime that's like the hard one to deal with.
Yeah. Gosh.
Ooh, Denver's 13th floor, one of the best in Colorado.
That sounds fun.
No, this is Raven Dark just said this. So Raven, 13th floor. Oh, bye, Charles. Good night.
Bye, Charles.
Denver's 13th floor. Have we done that one, Francis? No. I haven't been to that, but I would like to come to that, Raven Dark. That's a great suggestion. Trying to think of other ones I've been to that I liked. Yeah, Salt Lake City has the Nightmare Experience or something. I don't know. Shoot. Nightmare on 13th in Salt Lake City was a very good one. Although they had an experience that was specifically just to be in the dark and touch terrible textures. And that was an actual nightmare. Like, not nightmare like, oh, I'm so scared. Nightmare like, I would rather die than touch all the things in this experience.
Yeah, that's like when you put your hand on the thing and you're like, what am I touching? Is
Yeah.
this a tarantula? Is this eyeball? What is this?
Touch terrible textures.
Ooh.
Touch terrible textures. I do love some consonation. Oh, thank you. I have 100 cameras now. I'm made of cameras. There's like 7 options for if things go awry.
Yay. Yay for offstage partner.
I know. It's doing so good.
Here, I'm going to do a quick test of it.
You're doing a quick test? You're going to switch?
Oh, nice.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Your lighting is really nice. It's beautiful.
Thank you. You know, I love a little up lighting. Just really brings the room together. But I also have, I don't think you can see it, but I also have like, or maybe you've seen it in my house, but I have blue like up lights just along the one wall. And then I use my little can guys down here. I'll show you one.
Can you tell us about how the whole Twitch setup you had, the story you told about?
Magic Storytime is amazing. Yeah, talk about that, please.
What?
No, just Magic Storytime.
Oh, Magic Storytime. So Magic Storytime was shot
Storytime.
right here in this, not in this part. This part is where the studio was, and the set was in the living room. And it's Magic Storytime was a 10-episode television show that combined live streaming and pre-recorded elements to seamlessly mold together an hour to an hour and a half long episode once a week. Because I'm a crazy person. And I was like, do a Twitch stream? Sure. But hear me out. What if I made it a whole crew? We made all these segments, and I had on a bunch of guests, and we built a set and took it down once a week for 2.5 months. That sounds really fun. Francis just said we in like a very sassy way. And I think that means that he wants me to let you know that he usually handled putting that set up and down, although you couldn't do it by yourself. He carried it. Francis physically carried the wall. Okay, to be fair, right now it's in the basement, like, because, you know, it breaks down. So for the footprint of the set, I live in a Philadelphia row home, which means it is, with my arms spread out like this, I am about 3 feet from the wall on this side and 5 feet from the wall on this side. So my house is all of about 13, 14 feet wide. And so the set's footprint is 8 feet across.
And for those of you in the know, she plays pistol whip.
Oh, I do play pistol whip. That's true.
Yeah.
So that was 6 foot deep, and it was raised so that, it happened. We did it.
Oh, your camera died.
Hold on, I'm going to switch cameras.
We can still hear you. But
great. That's great. Okay, so I'm just figuring out where I'm at. There we go. Bam.
That's an old friend of mine right there.
That didn't work.
That's my old friend right there. Hello.
I was privileged with being a guest on Magic Storytime, and
it's true.
Literally, you like walked in the door, and it was this
I had to press record.
room within a room, and you had to like crawl through to get to, and it was amazing.
Oh, it was on
like
too.
a miniature monster house that the monster lived in, and you were a guest in his house, and like it was miniature chairs, and you were sitting in it as a guest. It was great. It was so much fun.
Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, it was each episode went.
Is that right? Magic story time?
Magic.
Yeah.
Storytime.
Okay. So I'll keep talking. So Magic
put it in
Storytime.
The chat. Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Is it set up?
Magic Storytime is on Twitch. You can follow them. I'm hoping they'll resurrect the show. for some more episodes. I don't know.
We
You might
will.
be too busy. I would love to see that though.
Hand me this.
Yeah, I said it for you.
It's amazing.
All right, 1 second. I'm going to answer questions in a moment. I just have to readjust this camera situation.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get the stuff off of the
So they
screen?
interviewed different people in Philadelphia, different creators, and just really cool people, like comic book store owners and stuff like that. They would go on location. They would do these interviews, and then they would also have performers in their space. And they had like Kate Nix, who is also a Twitch streamer, and other magicians like Eric Jones, myself.
I've heard of Eric Jones.
I think you had David Darwin on. David Darwin's great. He's a
Yeah, I'm very excited to talk about it. Just let me figure out my camera. Give me 1 second.
Yes, yeah.
Hey, check it out.
But she'll tell you all about it. It was really cool.
Lindsay,
Oh,
I walk in front of this cat every day for good luck.
it's a hobby.
As someone with the number 13 as their lucky number, I respect this.
Yes.
He knows. I'm like, I go first. You wait.
He's very cute. But Magic Story Time is really great. I really enjoyed being on the show. So, yeah. Like, it was a legit production. Like, I really felt like I was on a movie set.
Thank you. That's because it was like a movie set, because
It
all
was
the
like a
people that
movie
worked
set.
on it make movies.
It was amazing. It was amazing. When you asked me to be on the show, I was just like, oh, okay. I thought it was just going to be this podunk thing. Oh, no. Oh, no. It was a very serious production.
And then Meadow learned that Lindsay has no chill literally ever and only does things very, very large.
Yes. Lindsay has no chill.
It's true.
When she does things, she commits and she goes all the way.
Hashtag Lindsay has no chill.
That is a fact.
There, we see you.
You see me? Amazing. I'm almost situated here.
Hurry up, because I'm eating Popeyes on stream.
It's an ASMR channel now.
Yeah.
It's all the way down. They were all the way down. Oh, to the floor.
You want ASMR?
Mukbang is not my preferred ASMR.
I got ASMR bubble wrap. You ready for
Mukbang?
this?
Is that what it's called?
Oh yeah,
Mukbang?
when you eat food in front of the camera, it's mukbang.
I do ASMR bubble wrap.
What? Oh.
No, that's not bad. That's doing it. That's getting my triangles going.
Just listen to the bubbles pop.
I don't like bubbles popping.
It's called popping bubbles.
Okay, we're almost got a camera here. It's so close.
It's
Yeah.
all right.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna make.
You're gonna make me party leader? That is a terrible decision. I don't know why you would do that.
I'm gonna go over here.
I got this fabulous green screen. Check it out. I also, I know we talked about pineapples earlier. The reason why Michael was talking about pineapples is because the topic came up earlier because of this jacket that I'm wearing. It has pineapples on it, which I thought was palm trees when I bought it. This is not subliminal messaging. These are not intentional pineapples.
Look at those palm trees. Damn.
They're not intentional pineapples, okay? Just for anyone out there who's wondering. No. And I know, and they're upside down. I know. It's so terrible.
So I don't know what Lindsay's doing, but I was hoping to talk a little bit about Halloween magic. So can you talk a little bit about the Neon Pirate?
Oh, the Neon Pirate, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've been doing a show at the Historic Village of Alaire. That is my glow bubble show that I do every year for Halloween. And every year in the past, it's been the Glow Bubble Witch. And everything's black light, and I have neon black light face paint on, and my costuming is all UV reactive. And it has a really unique lighting design so that when I do my bubble magic, the lights reflect on the bubbles and it looks really surreal and cool. So this year they have a pirates theme at this Historic Village of Alaire. So they asked if I would not be the bubble witch, but rather be the bubble pirate. So I came up with this costume, and I look like a neon space pirate, and it's fabulous. It's great. And I also tell really terrible pirate jokes, and it's so fun. Like, what has 8 arms, 8 legs, and 8 eyeballs?
I don't know what has 8 arms, 8 legs, and 8 eyeballs.
8 pirates. And that one takes you a minute. It's great because you're like, wait, what? And all night long, all the kids were like, a spider, and I was like, no, 8 pirates. It was great.
You ready for a knock knock joke?
I'm ready for a knock knock joke.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting Kanye West.
You did that really terribly. Interrupting Kanye.
I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had the best music video.
I knew that was coming. It is outdated.
I didn't mean to hit that button to remove myself.
Oh, okay. Is Lindsay back? There she is. Oh, it looks so pretty. It's pink now. Gorgeous.
That's it. That's the closest it's getting.
I'll bring Lindsay back with the best pirate joke of all. What lies at the bottom of the ocean and twitches?
Hold on, don't say it.
No, don't say it.
Ocean and twitches.
Which is perfect because we're on Twitch.
I actually don't know. I don't know.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
What lies at the bottom of the ocean and twitches? A nervous wreck.
Oh, that's good.
Isn't it great? I
like that.
Ah.
What's your favorite, Francis?
The pirate walks into a bar with a steering wheel coming out of his pants.
Yeah.
A ship's wheel. Yeah. Pirate
Yeah.
walks into a bar with a ship's wheel coming out of his pants.
Yes,
Everyone looks
yes.
around and is like, why do you have a ship's wheel coming out of your pants? I was like, pirate, you know that you have a ship's wheel coming out of your pants. The pirate says, aye, it's driving me nuts.
Yeah. That's a good one, Francis.
That's my favorite.
That's your favorite
That's
one?
my favorite one.
I don't have a pirate joke. I don't have a favorite pirate joke.
There's the classic one. What's a
It's driving
pirate's
me
favorite
nuts.
letter?
Oh, R.
No, you
No,
think
it's
it's
the
R, but
C.
it's actually C.
It's the C.
It's P. It's a R with the leg cut off.
Well, that's good. I like that.
That's a good one. Anyways, going
but
back.
yeah, back
Magic
to Magic
Story
Story Time,
Time.
which I would totally love to talk about. Magic Story Time, we had 10 guests. There's a new episode each, new guest each episode. They interrupted the story, so we would tell half of the story. We get a knock on the door, and the guest would come in. We cut to pre-recorded content, and then when we come back, it would just be the guest and Merle. And they would perform for Merle and entertain Merle, and then Merle would ask questions about what they did. Merle was the puppet. Is the puppet. He's still alive. He's still with us.
He's still alive.
I don't want you to think Merle died. Merle is still very alive. And then Merle would ask them some questions. They would get a phone call from someone famous and usually related to what they were doing. So for instance, Meadow, I don't know if you said this because I was doing the tech stuff, but Tom Noddy was who called Meadow.
Yeah.
And then Meadow takes the phone call, or the guest takes the phone call in the kitchen where Merle has a monster snack for them. What was it? Do you remember what your monster snack was, Meadow?
It was like sardines or something.
Sardines with
pretty
mustard?
sure-
No, that's a real thing.
It was something like that.
Sardines.
And I was
with
like, no, I'm good,
something.
Meryl.
Pan-seared slugs was definitely one of them.
Sardines with something.
Yeah, rock candy. Oh, nice. Rock candy, but like just rocks. Things like that. And then we would cut to a couple other pre-recorded segments so we could reset the set.
Here's something you don't see every day.
Oh, that's good. Do you have a green screen something? You have a green something.
That's hilarious.
That is good. So your background's fake.
Define fake.
Your background is a lie, Michael. It's a
No,
lie.
it's not. It's just at a different angle. It's over there.
So it's you.
He
So you took a picture of a
What?
real wall in your house.
I took a picture of my shelves. Yeah.
You could have any wall in the world behind you.
Yeah.
and you put your real wall behind you.
Well, but it's my real wall to the right.
Your commitment to faux reality is impressive.
All right, this isn't real because my hand isn't that big, but I know the back of my hand. And that's not it.
That's
So then we would use another pre-recorded segment, except this one was like a sketch related to our world. We would show that, reset the set, and then we finish the story and do a magic trick based on the story. So that's how every episode went. We had someone create an opening title song for us. Kate Nix, who was also a guest, as Meadow mentioned. Randy Shine was also on. I don't think you mentioned him.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, that's right.
Randy Shine was one of our guests. A juggler named Reese Crawley. Dave Darwin was on. Dave Darwin was in the Christmas episode, which was very fun because the Christmas episode was that the house was haunted. But then we paid off later that actually it was just Andrew Styles' Union Puppeteer in his blue suit and no one can see him, so he was messing with us.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Actually, the sketch of Andrew messing with us is the best. Like, episode 3 of Andrew Styles' Union Puppeteer is one of the best pieces of comedy writing I've ever created with Andrew and Francis.
Now, is there anywhere to see these episodes?
No,
because I could easily pull up some video. And what do you mean by blue suit?
Or
I can send a clip. I can send a clip from the YouTube of Magic Storytime. Let me pick one. Let me pick a good one here.
Or do you plan on doing replays of the episodes?
I'm going to re-release the episodes as edited down to at least just 1 hour. I have to. It's a really daunting task because there's 3 angles for every episode, and there's all the guests, there's all the segments. It's a lot, but let's see. Hold on a second. Magic Storytime as an app.
So go follow at Magic Storytime because we don't know when those might be re-released.
It's true. Follow us. We do. That's where I'm at on Twitch. I mean, I use my personal Twitch for
personal Twitch.
This is my personal Twitch. My Lindsay Noel Twitch. Well, what I'm in the chat with at the moment is my personal Twitch.
Did we ever find out about our other guest, potential other guest? Speaking of.
Oh, yeah.
Asking me?
I think so. I wouldn't know, Michael.
I don't know. Maybe.
All right. So I think there's 2 things that I would love to, if our viewers here would like to check out some Magic Storytime examples.
Yes. That'd be great.
I'm going to send you some of the segments that I like, Meadow.
Okay.
Can I do it in text?
Yes, and then I'll send it to Michael.
Cool. There's that one is when we go to Cho's studio. Cho Win is a Vietnamese artist in Philadelphia. And she does a lot of really impressive installation work. Let's see. So this is, let's see, which one of these do I want to give you? I'll give you Going to the Enchanted Forest as well. These are travel segments. So one has Merle and one is me. But this is some of the stuff we shot and did on Magic Storytime. And here's a shower thought.
Oh, yes, the shower thoughts are amazing.
This is the cheesy one, but
Where am I supposed to be?
I sent you a private message on Discord.
Oh, Meadow. This is unrelated to what we're currently doing, but I got something that's related to you, and it's very weird.
Oh, okay.
It's about a spider that creates something called a silk henge.
Ooh.
Okay. Silk henges are silk spires surrounded by an intricate silken fence structure. We know they are made by a species of spider. Scientists aren't sure yet if the spider is a described species or not. This entire structure is only about 8 millimeters, 0.3 inches in diameter. And it's from Amazon. I'm going to send it to you. This is very cool.
I just sent your own video back to you. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to put it in
Great.
a different message. Oops.
Ooh. Here we go.
There we go.
This is, I think I just saved this picture. Yeah, this is very cool, Meta.
Merle in the world.
Merle. It's Merle.
Merle. Merle.
Merle.
Merle.
Like Earl with an M in the beginning. Merle.
Merle.
Oh yeah, you can't hear it. He's like he does a. Oh wait, this one might not have it. No, it does have it. He goes. It's very cute.
Oh yeah, we can't hear it.
That's Merle. That's my little man.
There he is.
The little
He's so
green
cute.
guy. And that's Cho, the artist I was mentioning, who is just incredible. Anytime, if you ever get a chance to see Cho Wynn's work on display, highly recommend.
Good stuff.
But yeah, we always shot on really nice cameras. And when we went to other people's places, we had our own lighting set up and we have nice microphones, decent microphones, not super nice. But yeah.
Yeah, a whole crew of people. It was amazing.
Thank you. It was a full television production. So right now, season 2 will not be live because that was, as a friend of mine says, a prison of our own making. We're not doing it again. I learned. One time of live was enough. So this time it will be pre-recorded. We will probably repeat guests for the second time around.
Oh, here it is. Now we can hear it.
Yeah. Now, fun fact, Merle is a cappella singing the backup and singing over it.
It's amazing.
Merle is Andrew Styles. That's who
another
voices
episode
him.
of Merle in the World, and today we are interviewing an artist. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Wynn.
We don't have that.
I'm a visual artist, and my work has a lot to do with my identity as an immigrant.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
It has a blue, like it's highlighted.
I know.
You're touching one of them.
Yeah, this is cool. So is this one of your first edible?
It has a blue tinge to it.
If you say so, I guess. But I look at a lot of.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it's blue.
For my inspiration. Because
So another fun fact about the show that's also magic related, Eric Jones, who Michael you mentioned you've heard of, he lives in Philadelphia, and he also worked with the puppeteers on Sesame Street. So he learned from the guy that
yeah.
And then you got this stuff behind you.
Kevin.
What material is this stuff behind you?
And I'm forgetting his last name.
It's a cleansing ritual. So
Kevin Flash. Kevin Flash taught Eric Jones puppeteering. And Eric Jones came over and worked with Andrew for Merle and taught Merle puppeteering Merle. See, a thing that people don't know about puppets, God, I have so much paint on my hands. I just keep finding it. When you're puppeteering a puppet, you only want to move your thumb, right? Because if you're moving your thumb, you can do the mouth, and the mouth is moving. But a puppet's mouth sits on the top half of its head, right? So what happens is if you're doing this, which is the tendency for people when they first puppeteer, your eye line is going to be all over the place, and if people talk like this, it will be really hard to have a conversation, right? So so the trick to puppeteering is this, and it's hard. It takes a lot of practice to keep the top of your hand still while your thumb moves. I mean, you can move it a little bit, but really it should be all here.
Up not, making too much. It was just kind of feeling was fun.
So yeah, I edited this piece.
It's really great. It's wonderful.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun editing this one. Cho is again a very fascinating artist, and it's hold on, I'm gonna get one of my paintings. I have a Cho painting original in my house.
Oh, nice.
How long have you been?
I think I'm one of those people.
I got an update from Eric Tate, by the way. His first IBM meeting as his Ring's new president was a rousing success, and he probably will not be able to make it to our stream tonight for a hangout.
We'll miss you, Eric Tate.
Yes, we will miss you.
Or you could get
So this is a piece by Cho.
into the bigger format stuff.
Oh,
has a hole in the middle.
lovely.
Yeah, I guess you can say
It's a
it.
very
that's so
visceral
pretty.
piece.
What drives you to tell stories in this
That's so
way?
cool.
Yeah,
Well,
she's really great.
See, I'm
Um,
also teaching a class
piece.
on painting. And
We'll miss you, Eric Tate.
everybody has stories to tell. It
You
is
will be
important,
missed.
and it is also important to me that
I also
everyone
collect my
has
friend's hair.
to
That's another thing in my
tell
house.
awareness
You will be missed.
Sorry, what?
right now.
I love when someone's talking that seriously to a puppet
Your mind
because it reminds
that
me of
you
myself.
think about very often. It's like having
This is my friend's hair.
stories.
I just become a
Wow.
show and tell.
I think the only time I ever
Have you collected
have
my hair?
serious discussions is actually
No, I don't
with a
have any of your
puppet.
hair yet, but I'll take some. I want that tooth you found, Meadow. That tooth is mine.
Look how serious the puppet is.
I
Yeah,
know.
Merle is a very serious man. He's Merle, the literate monster.
Like,
He is really cool.
He's
I
well
respect
read.
that, you know?
He's cultured. You know, he looks
He's very
stupid,
cultured.
but he's a very smart little man.
All at once.
You don't let his single tooth and lack of mouth hygiene fool you. Reminder, the man eats rocks as candy.
Didn't fool me.
And I haven't figured out how to read a whole page at the same time
He's
yet.
so cute.
I love this shot right here.
Oh yeah, Charles and X do very good work cinematography wise.
That you get when reading
And Cho's studio was just fascinating. Actually, you'll see it. I think I don't know if we've gone past it yet, but
that's also
in the
good.
video they do some of the sand painting, which is something Cho's been doing at a lot of their installations, and they do a lot of commentary
that the one glance is also important because
on what?
like that,
I am hearing an echo.
there is definitely some sort of
Echo?
conversation
Oh,
happening.
do you
Echo?
have a StreamYard and Twitch open?
You can also
I do not.
What is your favorite story?
Echo?
Wow.
Yeah, I can hear the Twitch stream, so it's like I hear it
It's a
delayed.
hard one, right? Like who has one favorite story? That's like
I know. I can't
Yeah.
pick one myself.
One is delayed, so
What kind of storytelling were you doing before that, would you say?
Who's a teenager?
Look at this.
Yeah, we're like, it's basically, I mean, I did have the stream on, but it's not on anymore.
11? No, Mom.
gotcha. It might be on Michael's end.
Yeah, we're like, it's basically,
I mean, I did
Oh,
have
I
the stream on,
I
but
have
it's
a
not on
stream
anymore.
No, Mom. The box where you keep all,
It might be on-
all the old CDs of when you had
Michael, do you have I sent you the other video, the shower thoughts?
Yeah.
That one's
We're
really good.
almost to the sand painting though. Wait, don't stop
Oh,
yet.
we
The
are?
sand
Okay, don't
painting-
change it.
Actually, you can fast forward if you want though to the sand painting.
Considered trope. How are you trying to
What?
So one of the things Cho deals with a lot is the way that immigrant labor is exploited to do museum quality reproductions. And so that black texture that Merle's touching there is actually just an information scan of the topography of like a Monet piece or a Van Gogh that's been recreated overseas. And then Cho takes the piece, scans it, creates a 3D model, prints the 3D model of just the labor. So they're creating work that shows the labor put in by the people in Vietnam without further exploiting anyone else.
Yeah, I find that super fascinating.
I really love all their mission statements. I talk about them a lot.
questioning.
So cool.
And they just are always like trying out a new medium and like figuring out the ways they want to work.
I'm sorry, could you go into more detail about what you mean by show the labor?
So the problem is that when these people overseas they create these museum quality reproductions of classical works of art, right? And so they sell here for a lot of money, but those people are paid basically nothing for their labor. And even though they're very skilled painters, they'll never have their names known and they'll never be seen for what they're actually doing. They'll only be seen for what they've recreated. And so Cho scans the topography of those reproductions and then recreates a 3D model and then prints a 3D model of the topography of the reproduction to show just the labor and not what it's recreating.
So just one level.
No, it shows it's Yes, yes, but it's trying. I think the idea is, and maybe I'm wrong. It's great, not wrong, but this is my interpretation. It's art, so it's up to everyone's interpretation. My take on it is that she is showing the work that's been done without the veil of the reproduction. And also the other thing about it is she wants you to touch the pieces. You're supposed to interact with them. And in the Western world, art is often considered something you don't touch and you only observe with your eyes, whereas she is inviting the viewer to have a more personal connection with it beyond just sight.
Yeah, so it's like the texture that's so cool.
Yeah, because the texture represents the paint strokes that were physically applied by hand.
Yes.
In this case. I don't know exactly where it's at in the video, so I can't.
No, it's fine. No, it's so cool.
Yeah, Cho is incredible. I believe they you know what? Let me check. I think they have a show coming up. I will just straight up plug it right here.
And
tell everybody to go see that.
Connotation of beauty is affecting the current political, like climate, the contemporary supply chain of images and paintings in Vietnam, and like why these images are still appearing in Vietnam but without its usual connotation.
There is a show opening at the Neon Museum of Philadelphia on November 11th.
By monster standards, I guess
Awesome.
I kind of am, because I like books so much. But that was like
She's so thoughtful. Also, everyone.
That's what's amazing is that like this is perfect to get someone like me's attention. Of like, I'm gonna
Michael,
listen.
I wish you'd known about my show. You would have loved it.
Is this puppet running for office? That's what I want to know, because
God,
like, I will listen to, like, I'm taking this seriously.
He is so good. He was honestly, he is the reason the show happened, because we started talking about like what we would want to do, and he just put the puppet on and started talking with it, and I was like, I want to spend every moment I can with this puppet. Andrew, I want to spend all my time with you, my friend. I think I have a solution.
How the world works, you know?
Yeah. Andrew is like, the guy who voices him and writes his lines generally is Andrew Stiles, who is one of my best friends, mine and Francis' best friend. He married us. He did our wedding ceremony. And we hang out all the time. He's probably like my best friend. He's the person that, like, if I'm having a very hard day, I call to be like, hey, I'm real sad, because he's not only a very good friend, he's also like a very reasonable person.
And he's a puppet.
And he's a puppet. He's a puppet. There's also another character.
Sesame Street.
Oh yeah, taught by Sesame Street.
Does he live on Sesame Street?
No, he doesn't. We know some people. We don't live there. We like them though. We get along.
I thought you were going to tell me you got married by somebody on Sesame Street.
No, just my friend. No, okay, so really, actually, this was a compromise. Like, this was the biggest compromise I made for my wedding. One, I didn't even think I would ever get married. But it did say that if I ever got married, that John Waters would have to perform the ceremony. And Francis doesn't love John Waters that much. And so we compromised, and our best friend did it instead. But he really had to fight me. I was upset about it.
Aww.
Yeah, that's Magic Story Time was great, and it was very hard. And now we're writing it. We're writing the new second season. My crew is working on a puppet show for WHYLY right now, which is super cute and adorable. It's also another puppet show. It's about an apartment building, but specifically they're making it so it's like a middle to low income area. Like, it's not a fancy apartment building. It's on purpose, like average people. And it's great. It's great. It looks so cute. Every time I see pictures, I'm like, oh my God, why can't I work on the puppet show with you? That's because I'm a professional magician now and I can't just go make a movie.
Right. It's amazing though. I love it.
Oh, thanks. I sometimes miss the film life, but then I remember that I hate working for 14 hours straight. And then I say, you know, I will. That's fine. I don't miss it that much.
So what do we want to talk about on the next something up my sleeve? So like what do we have to look forward to?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you about my Full Us experience.
Oh yes, of course.
Which is, whew, I was almost tempted to tell it to you now because it's sort of like a real nightmare story. Like, I will preface it by saying that nightmare that you have when you are like, I've done this a million times. I know what I'm doing. Why? How could I do it wrong? And then suddenly you do everything wrong and you can't stop it from going wrong, but you're just in it and you're like, wow, gotta keep going. This is awful. Wish I could die, but I guess it's just a dream. Except it was real.
And the one with the audience is fully clothed, but you're naked?
Yeah, something like that. Almost.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. It's a ride. We'll save it though. We'll talk about that. We will talk about.
But there's a Fool Us trophy in your house somewhere. Is that right? Is there?
Mm-hmm.
There is one.
Yeah.
There is a Fool Us trophy there.
There is.
That's interesting to me.
I know.
I don't have one.
Were you on?
No, but I
Oh.
don't, and nor am I dating someone who has one that to show off.
So yeah, no, Francis did win. Francis did fool them. I did not fool them. That's not my trophy. I have a trophy that Francis made for me that says Lindsay killed it on Penn and Teller Fool Us.
Wait, oh, that's awesome. Wait, I didn't see that.
That's even better.
That's
it's
that's
in the magic
better.
office.
That is better.
It's very sweet.
I have your
gave it to me
magic
at the
trick
party.
from your party on my fridge.
That's sweet. Thank you.
Wait, I want to see the trophy.
Let me see if I can have him bring it down. Hey, Francis, could you bring down the Lindsay killed it on Penn and Teller Fool Us thing that you made? Thank you. I also have this magic wand, and it's pretty great.
Oh.
This is what happens when you come to the Goblin House. You got to see all the treasures.
It was born from a log.
Yeah, isn't it good?
Oh, yeah. You can do tricks with it.
Yeah, lower it in.
Oh, that looks amazing.
I know. He's real skilled.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's killer.
Right?
Wow.
Right? I married a good man. See, this is what I'm saying. I was like, I'll compromise for you, Francis. John Waters doesn't have to perform our ceremony.
That's pretty incredible, I have to say. Like,
and my mom does that.
Like, I don't even know him, but I may have just fallen in love with him just based on that trophy. Yeah.
Is lovable AF.
He seems pretty lovable.
He's so great. I love him the most. He's so wonderful. I love him like a lot.
Yeah, well, you know what? If he had made me a trophy like that, then maybe I would win the prize for loving him the most.
Michael, you can dream.
I can dream.
You can dream. Nobody's stopping you.
Hey, I have Popeye's chicken right here.
I know. You're eating that so late at night. Aren't you gonna get a tummy ache?
No, this is proof that dreams come true.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. So unrelated to anything, but you know what's real magic? GoPuff. I've never used GoPuff up until like a few months ago because I don't know why. It feels really wrong. There's something really wrong about like being on your couch and being like, wow, really want some Sour Patch Kids watermelons. And I also would like black licorice.
It's weird because I so agree with you, even though I don't know what you're talking about.
Have you you've never used GoPuff?
I don't know what that is.
It feels like a crime. It feels like you're committing crime.
It sounds wrong.
It's wrong. You can be like, hey, it's 3 a.m. Someone should bring me chocolate ice cream. And they will.
Oh, it's like DoorDash, but more like for rich people?
No, it's like DoorDash for stoners and drunk people. But I've only ever used it not drunk or stoned. I've just been like, it's very late at night and I would like a weird candy that's not in my house and I don't want to leave.
So it's like DoorDash for people who forget that they're not rich.
Yes, because it is expensive.
Okay.
But it again feels like crimes when you
That's-
order like.
I
a
think
bunch
that's
of
who brought
candy.
me my Popeyes because I don't know what I paid for this, but it's
Fair.
probably expensive.
You're just pretending you're rich, Popeye.
I'm like, oh, I did an online show. I deserve this.
I've earned it.
I earned this. I am a
Mhm.
magician.
Oh, do we have someone waiting?
You mean for chicken?
No. Look at yes. Look at the
Yeah. Crin wants chicken.
StreamYard. No, look at StreamYard. Look who's here.
What? Oh, it's you have to scroll down. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Hello, everybody.
I'm
Hi,
so
Eric.
excited that he's here.
How long have you been there?
Literally 20 seconds, but also twice.
Oh, thank God. Okay, because until Meadow said something, we didn't know. You could have because I had to like literally scroll down, so I
Info
wouldn't have
goddess.
seen you. Yeah, thank you, Meadow.
I know that there was talk of getting chicken. I'm deeply upset that no one has ordered me chicken.
Only Michael has chicken.
Eric,
Yeah,
you
this
could
thing-
go puff it.
Yeah.
What?
Go.
Hang on, Noel. What?
You know?
You're sending me chicken?
No,
Go puff.
use Go Puff.
I got a turkey.
I'm gonna go in
I
my
re-
kitchen. If you
I
want to turn
regret-
my camera off,
I
will
regret
be
everything.
RB.
Hi, Noel. It's good to see you again.
Hi, it's nice to see you too, Eric.
Hi, Mr. Dardon. It's less nice to see you with that chicken making all that.
I
Here's a loud
understand.
chicken.
I understand.
I love your. I'm gonna go off camera so I can peek at your. You just look so cool. That's a good little. What's your blue light there, Eric?
Yeah.
The blue light behind me. That is
Mhm.
those are the ground effects I installed on my couch.
Ooh.
Ground. What do they do?
I can make them go red. I can make them go blue.
Oh wow.
I can put a spring blossom on there, or maybe an Arctic aurora. Perhaps this is my rainbow dash light scheme, but that you can't tell because that's all the overhead stuff. So I usually just
Rainbow
leave it
dash.
That's nice. I like it. Oh right, because you do streaming as well, don't you?
blue. Yeah, just not as.
Yeah.
Although I have
I'm
to tell
starting
you,
to think you have experience on Twitch.
I do have some experience on Twitch. Although my Descatron, who I stream from, who is over here to my right, is getting a glow up this weekend, and I'm buying a new case to install all of his guts in. But it's a big enough case with glass and RGB, so my FISM trophy will be displayed inside of my PC case.
Oh,
that's
no
really
way!
cool.
Are you kidding me?
Why would I make something like that up? There will be photos on Instagram.
Awesome. I'm excited to see them.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
All right, little bit of housekeeping. Noel, how are you?
Doing well. We actually are. Francis and I have been this week reorganizing the Magic Studio and rearranging it so to just sort of be ready for winter and streaming shows. So
Very cool.
we are. There was just a knock on my door. I watch way too many horror movies to answer
A
the door.
rapping. Was it a rapping at your door?
11:30 p.m.
Like
I am not
Eminem?
answering the door.
Maybe it's
Sounds like a
DoorDash.
very
Wait, maybe somebody sent you some Popeyes
No, I don't believe that for a second. That's how you die in a horror movie, Michael.
by looking for Popeyes at your door.
By expecting chicken.
Now we know the secret. I never realized that was the whole reason behind every death in horror movies.
Mhm.
I expect chicken.
They're just opening doors, being like, "This is gonna be a delicious Popeyes delivery." Oh shit, I'm dead. Honestly, that's like the
most
plot of
horror
every horror
movies are
movie.
pretty foul.
Nice. But yeah, we're rearranging our virtual studio, so we're painting it and putting up some wallpaper as well. But yeah, basically moving all the shelves around, getting rid of some stuff. I guess sort of like a fall cleaning.
You two seem very wallpapery. Like you're the kind of people that would have wallpaper instead of painting. You would be that kind of extra.
That's a
never
good
done it
word. I
before.
like that word.
I've
Wallpaper.
never done it.
I agree.
This is the first time. This will be the first wallpaper. And I'll be honest, it was not my top choice. But we
I don't
have
think
a
you're
friend
being
that
honest because
does-
I've seen your kitchen.
Oh well, yeah. So
Okay, why don't you back up there and be honest for real?
No, I wasn't my top choice, but we have a friend who is an architectural designer, and we asked their opinion, and they were like, this is the best one. And we were like, well, you do it professionally, all right. So yeah, we went with a wallpaper. It reminds me of the wallpaper in my Nana's bathroom in her house when I was growing up, which is why I didn't want to choose it, but whatever, apparently it's appealing. So yeah, we're painting and moving things, and we're doing painting backdrops, which is fun. Yeah, lots of work. As before you got here, I was talking about trying to make season 2 of Magic Storytime, which was the Twitch show that we did last year. We're writing it ahead of time. And we wrote it ahead of time last time, but we're not doing any of it live this time because that was just unnecessarily hard. So yeah, how about you? Congratulations on your presidency.
Yeah, thank you. IBM Ring 7 had its first official meeting tonight with me as presiding as the president, and it was a good time. We had a really great turnout. We had a lot of people who'd never been to an IBM meeting before come. We had a lot of people share a bunch of interesting stuff. We're doing a new sort of show and tell thing where, like, you know how like you're a magician and you buy something and you're like, this is, you know, friggin' cool, and then it like lives on your shelf, and the only person who ever gets to enjoy it is you and any magician that comes to your house, but you don't have magicians come over to your house because you're like nervous that they'll steal your really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So now we have
I have something like that.
Oh god. But yeah, we had like a thing like that where like you can like bring something in and be like, this is a card trimmer that I got that was sold by the KC Card Company that Hustlers used to use, or this was the puzzle that Leonard Green used, or this is like a hairpin that Meadow Perry left on the IBM Atlanta stage. Like
really?
any,
Did I?
you can show something out. And so we had a member present like a really cool like antique deck of cards that they found. That was a lot of fun. And we gave a past president's medal to a past president tonight, which was a lot of fun. So it was a good time.
Speaking of which,
celebratory.
Eric, let me ask you if you've seen this before.
I'm nervous.
Because I was gifted these by an older gentleman.
Are they raw meat cards?
Yes, these are made of ham.
But they look like they're, bring it closer to the camera. It looks like marbled meat. I'm not crazy.
Is that thinly shaved Sean Farquhar thigh?
Oh my god.
Marbled meat.
Is it prosciutto? Is it a prosciutto deck?
It does. It looks like prosciutto.
It's Farquhar prosciutto.
Love it.
Sliced so thin it's invisible. It's the Omni meat.
Oh my god, that was good.
No, those look cool. What are those?
These are magnetic cards.
Oh,
I'm much more interested now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cards seem kind of gross, but magnetic, I'm in.
I had never seen these, but I'm trying to find something.
Magnetic meat.
Yeah, magnetic.
Extra iron.
Aren't we all magnetic? Oh, nice, Francis. He stopped by just to make that pun, and then he ducked into the kitchen.
Hi, Francis.
Eric says, "Hi, Francis." Hi, Eric. Can you film my seltzer?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's really cool.
Okay,
Wait, do it again.
We're gonna talk about that because I've been trying to shim some cards, and it hasn't been working out too well for me.
These are pretty incredible. I'm very lucky to have been just gifted these because yes, they look like sliced ham. Yeah, I have never seen these in 30 years. I've never seen.
They seem really flexible too, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah,
they're very
probably
thin.
Waterproof. Are they waterproof?
I haven't tried, but they appear to be.
I'm just asking for reasons. No reason.
Asking for a friend.
The bubble queen wants
why do they
waterproof
have
cards.
that wild text? Like, what is the picture on the back? If it's not supposed to be meat, what is it?
I think it's supposed to be a 70s couch.
Oh, like that marbling in the front of a book or whatever. Okay.
Like leather.
I guess. I have no idea. Yeah, but you're right. No, you're right. It absolutely looks like a piece of ham.
It's perfect for sandwich effects. Bye, Francis.
Thank you, Francis.
Hey, Noelle, I think you're gonna be fine as a solo act, is what I just heard.
No, yeah, it's been working out pretty well.
Sent you a message. Let me know when you're free, Francis.
Will do.
Are you just gonna hang?
I love this
You need
amalgam of
something to
humans.
do?
This is great.
I'm done with painting the wall.
Okay.
So I spent an inordinate amount of time splitting cards and then trying to mix various amounts of iron filings into rubber cement and then
Really?
pasting that on cards and then putting them back together, trying to create a flexible shim card. And spoiler alert, did not work.
Yeah, I
Oh.
mean, that's what. Like, look at this. This is obviously not current. This is very old.
No.
Like, I'm very
Yeah.
lucky to have these, and I don't know. They're not. It's not like something made anymore.
Man, I want them and I want to take them apart so I can figure out their secret.
There's a lightning bolt through the
Me
Ace
too.
of Diamonds,
That's shocking.
which screams DC. Just saying. Yeah,
I've gone on a mission to see if I can find them.
I think these are gonna be great with my new holdout, huh, Meadow?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
From Paul Richards.
Oh, a little Trabuco action in
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Dardon's coat.
Well,
Mhm.
maybe maybe that was a birthday present. And maybe I need to practice.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Sorry, I have a new setup, and so I keep forgetting that I have to look over this way into the camera because I'm
Oh.
looking at you all,
I
and
do
then
that
I'm
all the
like,
time.
oh, I'm not
That's
like,
fine. I do it all the time.
I'm not being.
It's
Camera
fine. We all
friendly.
understand. If
I
you're
keep
looking this
looking
way.
down the eye line for me to see all of y'all's here, and then this is camera. So.
It's Chris Combs. It's Chris Combs. Hey, what's up?
Hey. For a dangerous, flexible shim
Yes.
card, use
Use
snap
snap
bracelets. If you know what I mean. You just forgot the if you know what I mean. So it should have read, for a dangerous, flexible shim card, use snap bracelets. If you know what
If
I
you
mean.
know what I mean. Do you know how hard that is to sync up with the delay?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
very much. That's why I always go, she said that's what?
What?
Yeah.
Noelle, how are you? What are you up to? Sorry, I know you all did this earlier, but I'm
No,
it's fine.
I'm-
no, we didn't
I'm-
really.
I'm
like,
taking over.
no, I tried
it
to
okay?
ask her,
Can I-
and
can I
we never got a straight answer. She went into puppets and past experiences in other dimensions.
Meadows
She
got
never really
puppets?
even said what was going on for Halloween.
No.
Never.
Also,
never really.
If I
No,
if I
Lindsay has
may,
puppets.
Eric, if you don't, can you call me Lindsay?
Yes.
I never get called by my last name. It's really like, I know you're talking to me, but it's also weird.
I liked it.
Yes, Lindsay. I apologize.
I guess I've even got, okay, that's not my real last name. My real last name is Krushak. Noelle's my middle name.
Khrushchev?
Krushak. Close to Khrushchev.
Khrushchev.
You're not from the
Khrushchev.
North Pole?
I am not from the North Pole. I was born on Christmas, and
So misled.
I guess honestly, it's just working on the second season of Magic Storytime. October is not the heaviest in gigs. We have a couple really big ones. We have a big one coming up on Saturday with Meadow in Burlington County. She is the first magic show in the Magic Land for the Autumn Lands Festival. And we're throwing a really good Halloween
I
party.
get that comment. Sorry, go ahead.
Meadows on the list.
Meadows invited.
Yeah, obviously. But she might not.
Eric, Michael, you're invited. You can come to our house on October 29th and
Thank you.
have a Halloween party with us.
Can
Just,
I wear
and
doing
fly
it
sleeves
out.
like
big,
this?
but
Can
maybe
I wear
after.
sleeves
Noted.
like this?
You can wear whatever you want as long as it's a costume, because if you don't wear a costume, you have to go home.
I
Oh.
just
Or
I
bought a
saw-
costume.
we
That's in
just
my
I saw
got-
an
program.
amazing party theme idea today on TikTok, because I'm always on TikTok these days. That you have to come in costume with someone else, and your costume names have to rhyme. So you have what were some of them? So it has to be like
Mickey and Icky.
yeah, Mickey and Icky, or Cat and Bat, or NFL. What was it? The one girl was like NFL and
Gambit and
King from
Scambit.
Hell. She was a devil and he was a hockey player. So it was NFL and she
Okay.
came from hell.
Louder and chowder.
Yeah,
Louder and
it's
chowder.
amazing.
So, okay.
Yeah. It's great.
What?
I think that's a fantastic idea. Like you
Orange,
I have an
orange,
important question.
and
Yeah.
This is Eric. What are you doing
Yes.
for Halloween?
It's funny you ask that. They don't rhyme, but I recently received matching Halloween costumes for myself and my dogs.
Oh, that's amazing.
What are you guys being?
So maybe this will be good enough for me to bring up on the camera. So oh man, I got to show these in order though. So Bellatrix, the little black dog, is a spider. Ooh,
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
So cute.
So I would have to refocus the camera to get a really nice shot of that. I'm sure these will end up on Instagram at some point. And Rocco is a very unhappy penguin.
Can you bring it a little closer for
yeah,
us?
you gotta bring it. I'm trying to see.
Oh yeah. Oh
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Unhappy.
Let me see if I can do this. I'll see if I can.
Can I make him bigger? I may
Oh
have
yeah,
to
look
close
at
these
that.
eyes
That
to
was
make
very
him bigger.
clear.
Whoops!
So
wait, hold
cute.
on. Okay.
So cute.
It is the cutest. Wow.
Well, here we'll
Yeah. Francis said, "Okay, enough of the dogs. That's very cute. What is yours?"
Yeah. What's the cohesive theme here?
So mine are I have a matching penguin costume and a matching spider costume. I don't have photos of those, but they arrived this morning. And then I had to go to work, and then there was a meeting, and then there was an IBM meeting, and then there was like a pizza party afterwards, and now I'm here with you two.
Because I harassed you to get on this call.
Because Meadow sent me threatening messages until I
I did.
arrived.
I did.
Oh man, that's aggressive.
I know.
I've never known that
You
to be
wouldn't
aggressive.
think.
This is a new side.
You wouldn't think that Meadow is aggressive, but yeah, I can be.
Yeah.
She's
She's
basically the
fast.
poison ivy of the bubble world.
I'm gonna read out this idea for a party.
Poison
this is cool.
bubbles. Poison bubbles.
Oh, that's good. That was a good.
That was a good
I like
song.
that song a lot, actually.
Platinum.
Chris Combs Prod says, for years when Halloween falls in the middle of the week, my party theme idea is have the party on the first Saturday in November, and everyone must wear costumes they bought at Spirit Halloween's closing this location sale on November 1st. That is a very solid party.
Quality costumes once a year.
I love that.
Well, that's the thing. Spirit Halloween is like so wildly overpriced for how terrible the costumes are that the only time it's worth getting them is then.
Hey, it is not cheap to rent out a closed Big Lots in order to put your.
That's my favorite meme when they just do that to like buildings and businesses they want to close, but they're just like, it's Spirit Halloween now.
Jimmy Kimmel did it to one of his musical guests this week. He turned one of his musical guests' dressing rooms into a Spirit Halloween. It was pretty good. Pretty solid bit, Jimmy Kimmel. You have my approval, man, with millions of dollars and millions.
I got
of followers.
I got this at Spirit Halloween. It looks like a real cat.
Oh, that
it's
is
a
real
puppet.
cat.
Yeah, it's a puppet.
That's a
But
very
He does
realistic
not look
puppet.
happy. He's like, let me go.
It's a puppet that doesn't look happy if you hold it for too long. It's a really heavy puppet. It's like an 18-pound puppet.
It's so fluffy.
It's a fluffy puppet.
It's just like the fluffiest cat. Look at this bean.
It's a big ass cat. Or
I
is it just a
know, it's so
wide angle
large.
lens?
No, it's 18-pound.
No,
It's an
he's a really
18-pound.
big cat.
He's a half man coon.
18 pounds?
He's a half Maine coon.
Jeepers. He's bigger than my dogs.
Yeah.
He's almost as much as both of my dogs put together.
Wow.
I walk in front of him every day for good luck.
He's not pleased.
He's not pleased. I have an angry puppet. This is Pie, who is now very mad. Hi,
If
look
we
at
wait
the
a few
camera,
minutes,
everybody
Bellatrix will
how
start
cute you are.
screaming that I'm not in bed, and I'll have to go get her.
Yay, Pie Pie.
Aw.
You look
Pie Pie
insane
is
in
our
this
bestest.
That's a
I
good.
remember
that's a,
that kitty cat.
That's a good ass cat.
He is a good bean. He's a little baby.
I like him.
It's a baby.
I'm partial to Salem. That's because I love calicos.
Here, you sit on this chair with me. Here, just stay here. Wait.
I am allergic to cats.
Oh,
My boys are allergic to cats, so that
if you
means
come
we
visit,
can't
I'll
have any
vacuum
animals.
very thoroughly beforehand with my very good vacuum.
I'm allergic to cards that look like ham.
They look they're prosciutto specifically.
I'm allergic
prosciutto cards.
to cards that look like prosciutto.
Please trust me, as a vegetarian, I definitely know what meat looks like.
What's the fancy uncured Spanish ham?
I know what you're talking about.
Fancy uncured Spanish ham sounds
Yeah.
like a weird
Fajita.
burlesque name.
Fajita.
No, it's not fajita.
Fancy uncured Spanish ham.
There's like a if you go to Spain and you're walking down the street, there's always like a big old ham on like a wooden stand in the window, and they're like,
El
"Look at our
mito.
fancy ass cured ham," and you're like, "That is."
I mean, they have that in Greece.
El
The-
carne. El
No, but
Gyro.
in Spain, you're like, "That is the most Spanish fucking ham I've
On
ever
the
seen in my
spit.
entire life."
Tuto carne.
Actually,
Gyro,
I think
gyro.
la carne, isn't it? Isn't carne feminine?
El hamo.
La carne.
Is it just hamon?
Marbolamido.
Hambone, not hamon.
Hambone.
Hambone?
I believe it.
Should we Google
Hambono.
it?
Hambono.
All right, I'm googling fancy cured Spanish ham.
Fancy. Me too. We're gonna get so many weird advertisements now.
Iberico. Hamon Iberico. It's
Hi,
like
we match so well. Look at this. It's like we
you and your
planned it.
cat do match.
That's where I'm
Not-
from. I'm from Iberia.
I thought you were gonna say you're from Hambone.
Oh man, Chris Combs, Prod, one of the greatest
Jambone
podcast
Iberico.
producers in the history of the
He
game.
is amazing. Can confirm.
Game
Chris Combs
recognized
is back.
game, and you look pretty familiar, my friend.
What? So sorry. What podcast does he do?
I think he does Shazam, the podcast
Yes.
that hopes to
Cool.
make itself obsolete.
Yes.
Wait, what?
I've also used his services for some of my stuff, virtual show stuff. He's great. He's fantastic. If you need production assistance, Chris Combs is the man.
Virtually speaking,
Yes.
I got so much of the cat on me.
That is the tragedy of cats.
No, I regret
Yes.
this. Actually, cats in a velvet dress. This was a bunch of choices. All one after another.
All right, so let me throw this question out there because that way we can stick to the theme and then end it and go to Rocket League or whatever game you guys are familiar with. So what do you pull out at Halloween that's different than your everyday Magic? What changes? What do you do for a Halloween
tired.
show?
Oh,
Besides
Eric
putting
just
on
put
a
a
different
cat
costume.
Sorry, I saw both Meadow and Lindsay's eyes just get real big when they realized it was a cat onesie. Also, I just realized there was a cat onesie next to me.
And that matches pie.
Amazing.
I'm putting my
A
hand in a
little white
pocket.
belly and a little white nose, like my little baby boy pie.
You look adorable.
This
Dang it.
is very
Is it-
cute.
I love it.
I have a dragon onesie as well. This was not
I'm-
planned. This was just
This was
placed
the point.
next to my
Just
desk.
randomly
I see-
asked them.
I see you like onesies. I only have a chicken onesie. I call it my sexy chicken onesie.
I do not have a onesie, and now I realize that I need one.
May I recommend
can-
getting a sexy chicken
You
onesie?
can't just talk about chicken. When do you have it close by? Can we see what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'll be back. Is it
I'm-
close by? No. Can I get it? Yeah.
I feel like I need to add something to this. Hold on.
It's my broadcast now. I've
Oh, the
taken
paintball is
over.
very strong.
The broadcast belongs to me. All right, not that magic mic. What? No, Dardon, get out of here. Get
I
outta
didn't.
here.
I didn't get a chance to, talk about the next
Oh, the
convention
sexy
I'm
chicken
going
is
to
so
coming
very-
up, which is the PCAM.
Oh, you're gonna be
Uh,
at PCM? That's pretty awesome. That's a great
PCAM
convention.
in Vancouver, and that's where I first, and I believe it was in Vancouver. I think it was the one where I first broke out my famous onesie, which was the Flash onesie. So I'm gonna go look for that.
Aha, the
I
stream
really
is
should have
mine
muted this
again.
microphone before I walked all over the house.
Oh, all right. Not that magic mic on Twitch channel. This channel belongs to me now. What are we gonna do? What are we? Are there channel points? What if you exchange 1,000 channel points right now? I will make a onesie change.
Oh yeah. Spend your bits.
Spend your bits.
Spend your bits, babes.
Meadow, that is another velvet dress and not a sexy chicken onesie.
That's Lindsay.
Sorry,
I understand everyone
Lindsay.
confuses us, Eric, and which is why I literally said this.
We
Meadow,
literally
we
said
can't go on the same thing. Everyone thinks we're the same person.
True.
No, I have face blindness.
Okay, fair. You get a pass.
I have to add to the face blindness. I have a cat mask.
Oh, nope. It's easier to see you now.
No, it is? Okay, good. It works. I am also a cat.
Love it.
This is the Halloween stream now,
And
apparently.
a sexy chicken.
I love it.
I like to put this on. You know, when it's time to get sexy.
That seems like it's been to a club or two.
Actually, you know where this has been?
I am afraid to know. Is
To the Wing Bowl.
The Wing Bowl?
The
What is
Wing Bowl.
What
A
is that?
true nightmare of toxic masculinity and
Oh boy.
over engorgement and just it's disgusting. It happens. It actually got canceled because it got real. I don't know. It's because it's disgusting and debaucherous. But I used to know a professional eater from Chicago, actually.
Okay.
A
First of all,
guy named
I like a chicken wing.
Are we taking our masks off?
Pat Cheesesteak Bertoletti. And Pat Cheesesteak Bertoletti, you know, when you do Wing Bowl, everyone goes and tries to eat as many wings as they can and as fast as they can. It's really disgusting. Every person eating the wings has multiple strippers on their team to bring them more wings.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And before the contest, the professional eater and their bevy of strippers goes on a parade around the stadium. So anyway, the people from Chicago specifically tried to not be that sexy, and we would just ride around the stadium being like, fuck the Eagles, they suck.
I mean,
And make everybody mad.
That tracks.
Yeah. It was a good time. Eric, I'll tell you more about another Meadow. You can both hear about it another time because there's lots of inappropriate parts of the story.
Oh, I can't wait to hear all the inappropriate stories.
I mean, whose Twitch channel is this? I mean, we could just cause a DMCA.
It's Michael's.
Oh,
Michael
wow.
put on his onesie.
That is
He's
that
the
is a flash
Flash.
onesie.
He's flashing us.
He is
Michael's
also,
so modest. He did it like off camera.
and he's muted, and I don't think he knows it.
I'll figure it
How
out.
about now?
There we go.
Shoom, 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 shoom.
Very impressive. Honestly,
Love
I can tell how fast you're going by the noise.
There's the sound delay.
Meadow, did you leave to get a different costume and came back with fries instead?
I have waffles. Even better.
Yeah, you didn't change at all. He changed twice. He changed 3 times already.
All right, wait.
I
Are we
was
good?
like-
Okay, I'm gonna try again, but this time I'm gonna mute myself, and I'll be back with a different costume on.
Was I supposed to get a different costume?
Yeah,
Was
put a
that part
different
of the-
put a
Oh,
costume.
okay, all right, I'm going. Jeez.
So I don't know, Eric, you weren't there for this particular PCAM, but it was the first time I wore this onesie. And the reason I wore this onesie was because my luggage got lost. And as I was shopping at Walmart with Trevor and Lorena, I found this, and we came up with this idea that during Trevor's act, I would go out as the Flash, you know, kind of like the whole, you know, slow motion bit.
Yeah.
Explaining how trick works. But then because I knew I had the onesie, I was sitting in Master Payne's lecture, and I was sitting next to Chad Long. And I said,
every good story begins with I was sitting next to Chad Long.
most of them, right? Yeah, that I have a few that start that way. So I'm sitting next to Chad Long, and I said, should I put on my Flash onesie and go run across stage during Master Payne's lecture? And Chad Long said, you have you have a Flash onesie? And I said, yes, I do. And he said, then you must. So I went upstairs and I came back down in my Flash onesie and I ran across as Master Payne is doing his pizza trick. And I go, shoot, 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 shoot. And I take the pizza and I run out. And he has no choice now than to go, did you guys see a burst of wind? And I don't know what he did at that point, but like his prop is gone. And I gave it to someone else to bring into him. But basically, that was Master Payne dealing with an improv situation when the Flash just decided to steal his pizza.
Hey, are you ready?
Yeah, that was perfect.
I've
timing.
never been more ready for anything else.
My story's over. Oh
wow.
Oh my goodness.
That is phenomenal.
That's kind of scary.
Oh wow.
Why?
Yeah, when we
you,
said onesie, we didn't know you got a different interpretation.
Why? Where did hi? Who's? Explain.
I made it.
Explain.
Oh my goodness.
Meadow, you're inside out.
I am inside out.
One of my jobs before I was a magician was making really big, nerdy burlesque shows. And we did, actually, this was a festival number. We had a 3-person number as No Face, Kamaji, and Yababa. And the No Face was played by our friend Savannah Carr, who is already pretty tall. They're like 5'9". They have this smoking body, which is just stupid. They wore the stripper heels, so they'd be real tall. And then they wear a motorcycle helmet under this to keep it in the right place. So they're like, with the whole getup, they're like 7 foot. And then they have this long black spandex gigantic cape. And the number was like, we all first it's just Kamaji and Yababa, which was me and a performer named Margot Starlux. We would like interact on stage, dancing, but showing that we are preparing for a thing. So it's like choreographed, but sort of also telling a story. And then finally we go to the sides of the stage and the No Face walks to the audience and comes up and we're like, oh, he's here. Then he scoops us into his cape and we shoot around in there because it's spandex, so we can like push out at all the angles because he ate us. And then he spits us back out and we had just on like matching G-string and bra. And the No Face had feather fans, so the No Face covers us with the feather fans. And then we do a fan dance with the No Face. It's choreographed where we switch the fans off and stuff.
Oh, very
and
cool.
Yeah, thanks. It's the fan dance is too in the Hall of the Mountain King because it seemed appropriately epic. But yeah, it's actually one of the numbers I'm very, very proud of. I still have a lot of my old burlesque costumes because look how cool! I can't get rid of this. Look at this thing.
First of all, no, you can never get rid of that. Second of all, I hosted a lot of burlesque, and I like a good fan dance. They're just like they're few and far between, but I think like a good fan dance is it's just it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good inside.
And you're like, I want to see. And then they reveal it and you're like, oh, yes, thank you so much. That is I know. And they're not, and you're right. It's not every fan dance is a very good fan dance, but the ones that are very good are
the best ones are great.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Also,
what's your favorite?
You know what I really like is a really good boa dance with like a really fluffy boa that like you can almost use as a fan, but it's different because there's different moves that you can do with a boa that you can't do with a fan. Because I think the cool thing about the fan is being able to like retract the fan and then bring the fan back out in a very strategic way. I'm trying to think of the last fan dance that I saw. I mean, because I think you and I probably know like very different burlesque dancers just because of the regionality of it.
Maybe, but I know some from all over because I produced the Philadelphia Burlesque Festival for many years.
I hosted the Ohio Burlesque Festival up in Cleveland once, but a lot of the burlesque that I've done, at least in the last decade or so, was all based in Columbus. So like I was the host of the Ooh La Las for a long time. So I worked with like Cherie Blondell, Pete Roulette, Truly Scrumptious. Oh my God, Truly Scrumptious was fucking awesome.
I don't know these people. Now I'm gonna look them up.
Truly made all of her costumes out of paper. And so it would take her upwards of 6 to 7 hours to make a costume and she'd destroy it completely in 3 minutes.
Did she really only do paper acts? Because that's kind of amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
That's an incredible gimmick.
She had an amazing thing where she would take her bra off and her pasties were, you know, the Post-it notes that they're glued opposite ways, so they accordion.
Yeah.
So she would take the bra off and her pasties were that, and then so that she would have this like explosion of Post-its that would then go all over the stage. It was amazing.
Oh my God, that's great. That's so cool.
Yeah. Meadow, are you blowing bubbles over there in the corner?
I always am blowing bubbles. I always have bubbles.
Michael, are you just throwing money at the camera?
These are Post-its.
Oh, sorry. If you need to throw me money, I'll just Cash App you. Oh, you can take
Eric, what do you have going on? What's new with you?
You could take Meadow out of her skin, but you can't take the bubbles out of Meadow.
This is true.
You know, I'm just living life. We had a very nice we had a very nice IBM meeting tonight, and we'll have a really wonderful one next week or next month. I don't know. I got a lot of stuff going on at work right now. There's a lot of like really cool shit going on at work that I can't quite talk about. I can hint at stuff, but
hint.
There may be some live streaming in our future that is different than the live streaming we're doing now. But like big and fancy. So this is not really a secret, but so our theater got a glow up this year.
Okay.
And it was sort of very big and much vaunted, where we sort of reoriented the P3 theater, and we're going to remodel it again. But we're really excited about the remodel with like some really fancy upgrades and some stuff that's going to like make it better for performers, and we're going to be able to like do more live shows for like people in Columbus. So like, I mean, other performers will be able to come in, but like the big thing is we live in this amazing city, and we're going to be able to like be producing lots of live magic shows that aren't necessarily like Penguin things, but a lot of the Penguin crew will be doing these things, which will be neat. And so the new theater upgrade will allow us to do that. And the new theater upgrade will allow us to like go back to shooting some of the really cool stuff that we were shooting during COVID. Like one of the really interesting things that happened during the pandemic was that like you had a bunch of videographers who were just sort of like trapped in a studio and we're like, let's do something insane because we can't go out and perform for people. And so like one of my favorite demos we made over the pandemic was this the Screams at Midnight deck, because we actually built a tiny Pepper's Ghost illusion to film in front of this deck of cards, which was like, it was really cool, like doing
That's
like
really
making
cool.
this like practical phantasm
That's
and just like
amazing.
all the fun stuff in there. And so we're just sort of like getting back to that, like, hey, how can we like shoot amazing things in this studio?
That's really cool.
And so the new upgrade will like allow us to continue to produce live shows in Columbus, which are beneficial to Penguin customers and anyone buying Penguin products, but also like it'll be cool for our city to be able to have like live shows in a theater built by magicians who are also professional videographers. So the shows will look good, the products will look good, you know, and like a number of us have been like crisscrossing the country performing in every magic theater all over the place. So we're able to like think about the best bits that we love from all of these theaters and try and just like shove them into the place that we go to work every day, which is going to be a lot of fun.
So there can like, you're going to set it up for a runaround, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Oh, there's like so many. Okay. All right. Well, Francis and I will be bugging you. Come here,
Well,
you.
the current one can do a runaround. I'm not sure if the new one will be able to do a runaround, but we'll definitely have wings.
Right.
But there's no reason to. I mean, I don't know.
Wait,
There's like
what do you mean by run around? Wait, what?
like where you're like a bit where you're like running around the stage, but like going
Like a
on
running
and
gag?
off, like on and off and on and off and on and off.
Well, yeah, like you make it like an impossible, like you do something, you replace yourself, and then you enter from the back. Essentially, I feel like is what I'm referencing.
Really?
Right?
Well, the theater
Okay,
only
like for
seats
an
30.
illusion? You talking about an illusion? Okay.
I mean, illusion or magic trick or a Mac King trick.
Yeah.
Or like David Copperfield on a motorcycle.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the comedy bit. Oh no, like an illusion, like where you can get. The
You
answer
talking about
is
David Copperfield on a motorcycle?
maybe, depending on how you do it.
Okay.
Because our theater doesn't have traps. Because we're in like an
It
old
doesn't need traps. The one that
we're
we
in an
were
old
thinking
Mason
about.
building.
Oh, that's cool. I love an old Mason. Wait. Oh my God. I feel like. Did you just buy the old Mason building, or have you been there for a while?
No, we've just been there for a while. We're just like in an old Freemason building. I mean, it's been a lot of different things over the years, but it is an old Freemason building. It's like sometimes we find stuff in the basement. We're like, oh, yep, Freemason.
Oh, cool. What's the weirdest thing you
Wow.
found in the basement?
It's mostly just like stuff carved into brick.
Anything?
Yeah, that's what Masons were good at.
Yeah, just like symbols and stuff.
Okay.
They were good at carving stuff into brick.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Theater Bazaar?
No, I haven't.
I also haven't. I know it happens in an old Mason house. So.
Yeah, they carve stuff into brick.
I know I'm
Simple.
headed out your
Making
direction soon. I owe Smoke and Mirrors dates.
Yes. Come to
Oh, come hang out.
Come hang out.
I need to come
We'll
do
have
Please
so much
Shuffle
fun.
out there.
Yeah.
Actually,
100%.
depending on when you do it, I am starting a magic show, a small one at Standard Tap here in Philadelphia. And it's going to be called Magic Above Standard because it's above Standard Tap. But also it's a great little space. It's like a cabaret space. It's the same sort of thing. It's like 40 people maximum. Basically, I'm trying to do it on a Wednesday so that people, if they're traveling to do Smoke and Mirrors, can also do that.
That's cool.
So
I see it now. That's a Flash costume. That Flash onesie. I thought it was a Handmaid's Tale costume.
We can hear you, Francis.
Jimmy, we're not on mute.
Oh no, I'm saying it for a fact. It's okay.
The only other thing that's going on, though, to answer your question, Lindsay, is you know about the computer case trophy case thing, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, that's the big thing this weekend. Because I realize what these onesies are. My partner is going to a silent weekend, so she studies ASL, and so she's going on like a camping trip that is it's all like voices off, but it's also going to be a Halloween thing,
cool.
and so she's taking these onesies for her trip. So she must have been like laying them out, and she just laid them out on the couch next to my chair.
And you
So
were
I
like, wow, onesie Christmas.
yes,
I mean, that's what Halloween is.
Yeah.
That's a better excuse for having a onesie nearby, I think. That's a good reason.
I only have the one, and I also I bought a Totoro one, but it was so weird. Like it didn't. First of all, it was short sleeves and short pants, so strange. But also, did you ever just get one of the onesies and you're like, everything this was made weird?
Wait a minute, a Totoro onesie that's short sleeved and short skirt or short
like short pants and short sleeves. Not like too short. I don't.
Was
it's
it
bad.
bigger everywhere else so that like you could just put those on your wrist, but then you would be able to spread out and just be like a giant?
No, but the Totoro costumes that we made when we did the Miyazaki show were that. That was how they all were. They're very large. You just went down the wrists and the feet.
I like ham.
It's tight. It's weird.
It's got the juice. It's got the juice. What's not to like? I like ham.
Are you doing the corn meme but with ham?
He is.
I mean, ham does have the juice.
It's got the juice. Magnetic ham.
I know.
It's no longer.
Your magnetic cards are pretty.
It's no longer TikTok Tuesday.
No, it's Wednesday. Wait, well,
it's Wish I Had Ham Wednesday.
Wish I had ham Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of it being Wednesday,
it's Waffle Wednesday.
I think it's also
Wednesday.
Wifey bedtime
wobble.
Wednesday.
Oh, Lindsay bedtime.
It's Wobble Wednesday.
Yeah.
Lindsay tie.
You missed. The thing that I've been doing. I'll show you.
Do you just fall asleep on Dark
Lindsay, I thought you played Rocket League.
I don't play this game that you keep bringing up.
I don't know who told me that.
We're doing a thing, the festival on Saturday, and we sold them on having like photo op things. And so this is the one I made for a moose-drawn carriage. Let me get it up. Hold on. I can lift it up higher.
Yeah, you didn't explain
Raven.
moose-drawn carriage. I don't think you explained that.
I don't know if you can see that, but
Is that a carriage drawn by a moose?
It's like a
it
chariot,
is
yeah.
a carriage.
I'd asked you for 2 explanations, and one of them was
Why,
moose-drawn
yes.
carriage.
Yes,
Did
it
you
is a
explain
carriage
either?
drawn by him.
I think
So,
the most.
I'm sorry.
I think
Meadow,
Only-
did she explain either of them?
which
Yeah,
art
I-
college? Which art
explained the
college did the
bicycle
moose go
railroad.
to?
Wait, sorry. Ask your question again.
You said that's a carriage drawn by a moose, and I want to know which art college the moose went to.
That's very good. So Elkton.
Raven Dark.
No.
Meadow
No,
did not
it's,
dress up. Meadow took her skin off. She's
Yeah. I took
my
inside
skin
out
off.
right now.
This is what her bubble robot self looks like. But yeah, so the moose-drawn carriage is there's a place here in New Jersey, or not in New Jersey, we're in Philadelphia. There's a place in New Jersey called Smithville. It's named after a pretty wild guy named H.B. Smith. He was alive from 1814 to 1889. He came from Vermont, but he moved down to Smithville to pursue industry. In doing so, he left his wife and 4 children behind in Vermont when he moved to Smithville.
Sorry.
Not yet named Smithville. It would be named for him later. He met Agnes, who was a medical student, and he fell in love. And so he left his wife. He asked for a divorce, demanded a divorce. She said no. So he performed a divorce. And by that, I mean, he went there and he was like, give me the love letters. And he burned them in a fire. And he's like, give me the family Bible. And he crossed her name out and all of her children's names out. And then he was like, here's a check for $500, divorced. And then he went back to New Jersey. Anyway, he's a pretty wacky guy. And in 1878, decides that he is going to run for Congress. And he announces the run for Congress from a moose-drawn carriage. And he also made a bicycle railroad.
Where's he buried?
He's buried in Smithville in an iron casket.
Quiz?
Well, no, I mean we had to write a seance about the guy, so I know some stuff. Oh yeah, so he's buried in an iron casket wrapped in iron straps with iron spikes on top, and then it's encased in cement. No, so that's always the joke, right? Like, what was he, a zombie? No, he was just like really worried that his wife or his children would exhume his body and return it to Vermont. And then they tried. In 1891, his son came there to get his dad's body and failed because as soon as he struck the cement, he realized he couldn't get it out. And so sadly, he took out his anger on an Italian marble sculpture that H.B. Smith had made of Agnes when Agnes passed away at 43 years old of cancer.
It looks like this. This is made of Italian marble.
Wow.
Yeah. So but it was really quick too. Like, it took a really long time to make the sculpture, obviously. H.B. Smith never really liked it, but he kept it because it was the closest thing he would get to being able to look at her every day. But his son literally smashed it in 10 minutes and shoveled it into the Rancocas River.
That's awful.
I know. Well, to be fair, he did leave his mother in a terrible way.
Yes. But...
He was like, you won't divorce me? I will just erase you from my life.
Wow.
That's how I deal with most of my friends.
Wow. Noted. Oh, hey, I have a question. You play D&D, right?
From a moose-drawn carriage.
Yeah, I'm only gonna. All my
reality
questions
show.
are from the moose-drawn carriage. Listen, you're gonna sleepy. I've been painting these freaking things for like 10 hours a day.
I do play D&D.
Yeah, what's your character right now? What's playing?
So I'm not in a current campaign, but the most recent campaign I played in, I had a character named Cranus. He was a druid who had a penchant for setting things on fire, and he considered himself a defender of the ecological environment. Other people referred to him as an eco-terrorist.
Oh, fun! I like that. Have you heard of Witchlight yet? I'm starting Witchlight with a group right now.
I have not played Witchlight. I've played Daggers by the Dark.
It has a whole thing about like going to a carnival, and some people work for the carnival and some people get kidnapped by the carnival. Sometimes the carnival goes in and out of dimensions.
Is this the Fairy Realm D&D supplement?
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
have heard of that. I have that source book.
I am very excited.
About. Sorry, I thought when you presented Witchlight, I thought you meant like a different game. I didn't.
Oh
Think
no!
Like,
sorry. I was at story arc.
Yes. Yeah. No. I'm into it.
I'm playing right now as a French rabbit.
That's phenomenal.
I'm very excited. My older brother's name is Jacques Lapin. And mine is Pepper Lapin. And he's like very upset because he thinks that it's his fault that I disappeared with the carnival, and he's like been walking around because the carnival only shows up every 8 years, and he's like, oh no, I ruined my little sister's life. She was kidnapped by the carnival. Meanwhile, I've been loving it. So the carnival's come back and we're gonna get reconnected. We just did our session 0 and I'm very excited.
I love it.
Also,
I need to find a new D&D game to play on the reg. Because I actually DM'd for my birthday for my partner and a bunch of her friends because they were all like, we want to play D&D with you because we know you have fun with it on Twitch. And I was like, oh, okay. And then they all realized that they'd never played D&D before, so I ended up having to DM on my birthday, which is fine because I had fun with them. But I want to join another D&D game because I've wanted to I have an idea for a Hexblade character but the knife that he is sort of enthralled to is a butter knife. So it's like a really, it's a knife that gives him powers, but the powers benefit the blade, but the blade is just really ineffective. And so I want to play with that sort of idea. I don't know.
But
you know who's really great? You know who's really great at D&D is and creating amazing characters is Michael Feldman.
I am not surprised by that. I think we talked to him about it when we were out in San Francisco over the summer.
I wish I had any ideas for a D&D game. Maybe looking for more players. If only I could think of any.
Eric, when you say you're trying to start or trying to find a new you're not trying to DM it. You want to play as a character.
I want to play as a character. I'm not I will DM in certain circumstances, primarily if it's a one shot or something like that. But in an extended campaign, I want to be a player.
How's your Thursday nights?
I usually have
asking
gigs.
For a friend.
I'm usually gigging on Thursdays, but I can drop in as a guest. Is it what are we talking about here?
I'm asking for a friend.
Dungeon Fever.
Who's got? I mean,
it's called ADD.
Okay. Do you accept guests? Can guests sort of float in and out?
Yeah, but understand that guests squirrels take precedent.
I understand. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'll play a Thursday game.
You can be a guest, but if there's a squirrel, there's nothing I can do.
That's fine.
If there's a squirrel?
Yeah, it's gonna take precedent because it's ADHD D&D.
Oh, I get it.
Technically.
Yeah, I'm into it.
What is this hiding thing that's happening?
Oh,
are you okay, Michael?
I'm Batman.
This is the Popeyes coma.
I'm Batman.
We might get distracted.
No, I just think it looks better like this. Yeah.
Very cool. It's true. The coolest. Yeah. Sorry, we questioned the choice.
I might be on Nat 21.
Nice.
And, we talked about it.
Yeah.
We talked about it. Because I'm a Ren Fair person. It's all Rennies.
Oh, do you know Shoshi?
So, I don't. But I know Paulo. I know Shoshi.
I've been to a Ren Fair. Can I be your compatriot?
Yes. I no longer do Ren Fairs, though. Most likely. Probably. Maybe not.
I've been to the DMV. Can I be your driver?
Doing bubble shows at a Ren Fair is a really terrible idea. I don't know whose idea this was, but
yeah.
But I look great in a leather set, so.
Bet.
You don't need to go to the. Was Francis shirtless in the mirror? I don't think so.
He absolutely was.
That was probably just for you then, Eric.
Wow.
I'm really sad that I'm not running my my streaming software, so I couldn't just make big ol' heart eyes right now.
He's upstairs blushing, don't worry. But yeah, no, so Shoshi and Kim are awesome. Shoshi is out in LA now, but she's from Philadelphia originally. And Cubby is also sometimes does Nat 21. Cubby
yeah. Oh, I didn't know Cubby did that.
Cubby's also great. Those are people I met all of them through hiring them to host burlesque that way long ago. Cubby hosted the Arrested Development show as Tobias as a Never Nude.
Oh, cool.
Very good.
So I was trying to start a panel show here in Columbus, like a live D&D game that we would play on stage, and it was called Dungeons and Dragons in Hot Sauce. And so we would have a guest, and it was basically D&D meets Hot Ones, where like as the game progressed, we would eat hotter and hotter chicken wings, but also if you crit failed, you had to like do like, you know, a spoonful of sauce to the head, or maybe like eat a habanero pepper or something, because and a lot of this came from me. So I have a garden out front, and we grow hot peppers, and our Carolina Reaper overproduced this year. We got 6 pints of Carolina Reaper peppers from one plant. So I have all of the hot sauce.
Did you make any pepper jelly?
No, I didn't make any pepper jelly. I've never made pepper jelly. I made fermented sauce and roasted sauce.
Okay. Oh, roasted. Oh my God. The smoke inside of a hot sauce.
Oh man. These things will hurt you.
I kind of like a food challenge.
So I will say at the next convention I go to, I'm bringing some of my sauces, and I'm going to play You Flash, You Lose with anyone, but you've got to take a spoonful of my sauce before you play.
Damn.
I'd love to try your sauce.
That should be on a t-shirt. That should be on a t-shirt. Yeah.
Lindsay.
Yes.
No joke. I will present you with a bottle of hot, and there are options. There's Mercury's Baseline, which is our fermented Reaper sauce, because it's hot as shit. It's hotter than the planet Mercury, but it's got some real funk to it. That's why it's Mercury's Baseline.
Okay.
We've got smoked Ludgate, which is named after April Ludgate, but also we burned the peppers a little bit and maced our kitchen. But it's got a real smoky flavor to it.
These all sound like you would have a terrible time after.
No, they sound like you would have a terrible time.
We've got Afternoon with Apollo, which is it's very hot and it lasts a long time and nothing kills the burn on it.
Nice.
But also it'll feel like you're spending a lot of time next to the sun. My favorite is the Cypress Sneaker, because all of the produce in it was grown on Cypress Avenue.
How are there so many ways to torture yourself? That's my question. Oh man,
it's so good. The Cypress Sneaker is a roasted tomatillo, immature Carolina Reaper blend. So it's like real fruity on the nose, and you're like, this is a great sauce, and then it sneaks up and it smacks you in the face with a bunch of hot.
Some of those words were my favorite words.
I want to.
What is one of your favorite words?
Many of those words were my favorite words, especially like face.
Like
face.
Here's something you don't see every day.
Something.
Yeah.
We got a ghost pepper sauce from a farm down the street from us that we're excited to try as well. He was going to give us some ghost peppers to make our own sauce, but his ghost peppers didn't produce as well as he would like. They weren't ripe
underproduced.
Yet. They weren't ripe yet.
Carolina Reaper.
We were gonna do Reaper for ghost pepper exchange, but his ghost peppers weren't ripe yet, so we couldn't do it. And we had too many ghost peppers, so we had to get rid of them. So we were just like, here, have them. There were so many.
You know what you say? Strike when the pepper's ripe.
They do say that.
They do say it.
Who says that?
A thing.
Who says that?
Michael, they.
All right, as long as they say it. So look, we can keep hanging out. And I was under the impression, I was misled because I thought that Lindsay played.
You're not Timothy Wank.
I was very misled, apparently.
That's it. No, you're not Timothy Wank.
That was good.
Lindsay has the capability for Rocket League.
on Twitch we're gonna raid, and then but we can keep it going, and we can try to convince Lindsay that she is in fact a Rocket League player. But this has been a fun Halloween episode. I even ended up in my Flash onesie. We're gonna raid an orchid that I do not know. It's a very unknown orchid. So that's only known on Twitch. So we're gonna raid that now.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
We did
Unknown
it. We rated
but
them.
but I want to know. I want to know what
they're a
games
VTuber.
Eric Tate has been playing, because apparently Eric Tate is involved with Twitch.
I'm a Game Boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know this. I didn't know that you were like actively on Twitch.
So I play a lot of shooty games. I'm a
Shooty
pretty heavy on the Fortnite front. I can rock a Fortnite, and I play a little bit of Overwatch. Non-shooty games, I play No Man's Sky. I understand y'all play Rocket League. I've played it on my Switch.
Well, No Man's Sky can also be played in virtual reality. As far as
I have a Quest, and it is like my intent at some point in the future to stream VR stuff, particularly No Man's Sky, but also
very cool.
I really want to stream. I have Skyrim VR, Elder Scrolls.
Whoa!
Ooh.
I didn't know that. So I didn't really have an interest. I'm not a huge gamer for like platform type games, right? But I feel like an open world game like that in VR would be very, very cool.
I also really want to stream Star Wars Squadrons in VR, because the Squadrons in VR is like really, it's fascinating, because it should make you throw up, but it doesn't, because it's got
that's
like
crazy.
So like, when you're in VR and you get like motion sick because you're like, oh shit, my head is moving and things aren't like working the right way, because Squadrons is it's a flight sim dogfight game with Star Wars ships. So like you're flying a bunch of X-wings fighting TIE fighters, but you're in the cockpit, and so as you move your head, all the stuff in the cockpit stays where it should be.